too, Maz. And then don't forget, you want to go watch the Regina Pats play hockey tonight? 7 o'clock, the Agrodome against the Edmonton Oil Kings. We got 2 tickets. Maddox Schultz will be in the lineup. Then we're gonna give away Rider tickets later. We're gonna give away Rams tickets. We got the PumpJacks Cathedral thing. It's a day of winning. I'd give away this blouse if I could. Okay, Farhan Lalji is going to be coming up. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. Possibly tarpless. It's the Sportscage, streaming at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
Ready to raise your shower game? Rent a water heater and water softener together from Reliance Heath and turn every shower into a spa-worthy experience. Right now, when you rent a new water heater and water softener together, you'll get $400 back, sent by check after installation. Why settle for meh when you can upgrade your whole home's water and get big cashback savings? Don't miss out on this limited time offer.
Call on Reliance.
Call on Reliance Heath today.
Back to our regular spot, PumpJacks Cathedral.
You know, I thought PumpJacks was a kind of boot polish till last month.
What are you getting?
Kerwin's crispy ribs and a cold pint of local craft. Crispy, meaty, beautiful.
You had me at meaty.
Plus, we got live music on the weekends, big screens. This place is basically my second marriage.
And way cheaper than the first.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, PumpJacks Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet. For sale, 2 quarters of farmland southwest of Bethune in the RM of Dufferin. Bids must be delivered to the Curran and Fielding Law Firm in Moose Jaw on or before 1 p.m. October 6. The seller is not obliged to accept the highest or any bid and may reject all bids. That's 2 quarters of farmland for sale in the RM of Dufferin. For information, call the Curran and Fielding Law Firm in Moose Jaw, 306-693-7181. That's 306-693-7181.
I still just don't understand it. It's like buying a jigsaw puzzle and only getting half the pieces. I'm Wood Country Woody, and I like things done right. That's why my garage package came from Wood Country. A Wood Country garage package contains everything you need right from the start, including appearance-grade lumber, all your nails and screws, and walk-in doors with cladded jambs. It's one and done right with Wood Country.
Your home is your castle.
In McLean, Estevan, and Tisdale, wood-country.com.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50/50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50/50 is presented by ISC.
So since that little ding on my car last week, I don't know where to take it.
I don't even know.
That's easy. Take it to Regina Motor Products.
Who said that?
I did. Down here. I'm Terry the Tire. Regina Motor Products Chevrolet Collision Center and SGI accredited auto body repair is a full-service collision and body shop that works on all makes and models. Just submit your claim to SGI and set an appointment to get your appraisal done. Easy.
I bet you're tired after saying all that.
South at Highway 1 and 6, Albert Street. RMPChevrolet.com.
It's time to get the inside story. TSN's Farhan Lalji on Sportscage is brought to you by the Cooperators. Time to get financially fit? Cooperators can build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
He's got the Wednesday slot this week. There he is right there. He's getting ready to go coach football. Giving back. I love it. I love it.
Gotta do it.
Big news, Farhan. Just a little while ago, Dave Thomas texts in. Campbell Fair will be kicking footballs in Ottawa for the Riders, and Brett Lawther is not playing.
It doesn't surprise me. They brought him in a month ago. I was there the week that they made the move when Saskatchewan was in Calgary for a game. And look, we all like Brett Lowther. He's had a long, successful history in Saskatchewan, and they tried to show him as much loyalty as they possibly could. But at the end of the day, the other 50 guys in the room are the ones you need to show more loyalty to, and it's affected games in the last month, probably more than that. The last probably 6-7 weeks. It's had a material effect on games. It's had a material effect on coaching decisions. He's clearly lost confidence. It's not to say he's got a lifetime of yips. You could do it next year again, and you could come back and you could go through this again. But I think that Brett Lowther needs to sit down and again, I don't think his career is over, but this is the right thing for that room to look at other opportunities. And I wouldn't be surprised, quite frankly, if they had kicked the tires around the league. I mean, would you be surprised, and I don't know if this has happened, but would you be surprised if Saskatchewan reached out to Ottawa and said, hey, did we get a Lewis Ward for a little bit here? Like, with Ottawa selling off Lorenzo Malden, I wonder if that call happened, because they should be looking. And Jeremy O'Day's a smart guy. This is a good team, a special season. You got to maximize it.
Farhan, from the game last week, now there's a lot of reasons why the Riders didn't end up winning. I mean, there was the long ball in the secondary. There was the 6 points Lowther left on the field. There was the inconsistency on offense, which seems something Trevor Harris is off. It's a combination of things. Now, Lowther's not going to play this week. Campbell Fair. You got a brand new punter, though. So you got a brand new place kicker and a punter that's going to be in his second game. You've seen a lot of football. You coach football. The holder place kicker combination is not easy. It takes a long time to get down pat. So the Rider fans need to be patient with Campbell Fair on Friday in Ottawa if things don't necessarily go great out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, if you can attribute it to that particular part of the issue, right, the entire three-part battery. I'll give you an example. Last year in BC, BC's current punter is a guy named Carl Meyer. Carl Meyer, last year in practice, was kicking the crap out of the football. Like, every kick was amazing, a thing of beauty. And the Lions were trotting out Stefan Flintoff, who wasn't nearly as good. And we could see it in practice on a daily basis. It was clear he wasn't nearly as good. But Stefan Flintoff was also the holder for Sean White, and Sean White at that time was on some kind of heater. So they weren't willing to mess with that, so they sacrificed their punting distance in order to protect the comfort level of the place kicker. So now you go through the offseason and you get a chance to build it up in training camp, and everything's worked well. But to your point, don't minimize just how important that is. And right now it's not working altogether, so I don't think they've got a lot to lose. But you're right. If you're a fan, be patient with Campbell, because it might not all be on him.
Riders run into a desperate Edmonton team. We talked about it last week. Again, Ottawa's as desperate as they get too. Maybe some guys are half packed. Some guys are, already have plane tickets out of town. But the Riders lose in Edmonton. And it was never going to be a slam dunk. When you watch that game and the slow start again for the Riders, can you put your finger on why?
Yeah, it's hard, right? And I know that they've got some moving parts offensively, because, you've had so many injuries in the receiving corps, and it's amazing what Corey Mason's been able to do, and Mark Mueller, to make sure that offense still is operated at a fairly high level all the way through. And obviously Trevor Harris deserves some credit there too. But it still does have an adjustment, even when you're bringing better players back or experienced players back, like a Sam Emilus or what have you. So it just doesn't look as smooth and as crisp as it did early in the year. But honestly, I look at this team defensively as where the slow starts come from, because in earlier games, they've made such big plays defensively, whether it be a turnover, whether it be a sack, whether it be a tackle for loss, whatever it's been. And I think that's got the offense going. And I think that is kind of an area that they need to get back to. And I know that they've had some change in the secondary that's cost them at times, not necessarily last week, but the week before. So I think once their defense becomes that hungry group again, I think it's gonna. I think you're going to see it pay off offensively as well, with field position and momentum. But I don't think that Ottawa is going to be nearly as hungry as Edmonton. I was asked whether or not I felt the passing of Larry Thompson and all that was going to have an effect, and And I'm not sure that going into it, I didn't think it would, just because there wasn't necessarily a huge history there, but it seemed to have. And I think with Ottawa, they're so far away. They've got to win out. They've got to hope everybody in front of them loses. They've got to hope there's no crossover. I just think the mountain is so big in Ottawa that they are half-packed.
Farhan, you mentioned the defense of the Riders. Now, a lot of people, just because he's the Defensive Player of the Year, they just stay away from Roland Milligan. Is he a guy, in your opinion, that has to go be that game breaker again? They're staying away from you, but you got to go disrupt. You got to be the guy that starts this if you are the guy in that Rider defense.
Yeah, I think so. But really, for me, all this stuff starts with a pass rush. And in the case of Roland Milligan, he's not as productive as he was last year. And I do see some moments where teams aren't necessarily afraid of him. I don't think they're going after him on a regular basis. But I don't know that, the numbers don't tell me the teams are staying away from him the way you might expect given the season he had. Second half of last year, absolutely teams stayed away from him after what he did in the first half. So I don't think they're necessarily as afraid of him. For me, I think it starts with the pass rush. Like, go look at Calgary last year, right? And when you look at the Stampeders, this year, not last year. When you look at the Stampeders, the first half of the season, you've got this defense that's got 12 new players. And you've got 3 new starters, like first-time starters in the secondary. And they're holding up. Why are they holding up? Because of an amazing pass rush. And now they're not getting the pass rush, and their secondary gets exposed a little bit at times. And I think that could happen in Saskatchewan as well. When they're on defensively, it starts with the pass rush. As much as, they've had injuries at the corner, and we know how good Roland Milligan is. For me, it starts and finishes with what they're doing up front. And when they can get home with more regularity, when they can affect the pass with more regularity, Roland Milligan looks better. Everybody in the back end looks better.
Sam Memelis comes back. Obviously a boost, solid player. The 2-point convert, there is some confusion there with Harris and a Joe and probably an option route of some sort. Do you feel, though, since a Joe's come back from the NFL, that there's just something missing there from him?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, honestly, Barney's expectations. And, when he came back, everybody expected so much given how he finished last year. And so yeah, we're just expecting more. And it doesn't look as comfortable. And I think they're playing him in different spots than maybe where they did last year. Now, I certainly don't blame them for maybe putting him in ahead of a Mitch Picton or a Tommy Neal at various times. And, you think there's more there athletically, but those guys have had a comfort level with the offense from the first day of the season. So I do think that's fair. But I do think there's also some time to get it back and get where they need to before the playoffs, because he does physically make them better. Memelis physically makes them better. But it is going to take a while for these guys to all gel because they've missed extended time. And you're going to get it with Robistelli soon, too.
Yeah.
Kian Schaefer.
Farhan, not only did the Riders lose on Saturday, but for the rest of Rider Nation, a couple of things that made us feel uncomfortable. The Winnipeg Bombers looked good dismantling Hamilton, and then your BC Lions. That offense is clicking, and they're playing a little bit of defense, and Matthew Betts is looking unstoppable again. And I'm like, and Calgary just could not get out of their own way. And all marks to BC for that victory. It was dominant over Calgary. The Stamps didn't have a chance.
Yeah, they didn't, and it was much closer against Toronto the following week. But their offense didn't look as clean. But you look at BC's offense, and they have scored over 30 points in 8 of their last 10 games. Right, like their offense for the most part is dynamite. You talk about Winnipeg; they looked fantastic in the last game, but it's one game. Right, like it's been a while since the offense has looked that good. I know Zach Collaros came back, and that's obviously the biggest game changer. But even earlier with Zach, it didn't necessarily look as clean. So I want to see them do it again. I think they've got the ability to do it again, but I need to see them do it again. When it comes to the Lions, like I said, offensively they've been real good. And to your point, the last 3 to 4 games defensively, they've taken it to another level, and Matthew Betts has been the catalyst for that. And then they've also added a couple of other pieces. The personnel staff has Ryan Rigmaiden and company at the defensive line with Levon Bell and Bradley Anai. And now those guys have made an instant impact, whereas before, none of them were up front. So their defense is looking better. So, we talked about how that affects the secondary. TJ Lee was not good a year ago. And I know he's coming back off the injury, but he was showing his age. Now TJ Lee's coming back. All of a sudden they get a pass rush, and everybody in the secondary, including TJ Lee, looks really good, right, at this point. So much of this game is played up there. And here's the other thing with BC. Their offensive line, so we know how good Nathan Ork is. They've got two of the top 4 receivers in the league in Hatcher and McInnes. They've got the leading rusher in the league in James Butler. And now, last game, they lost Jarrell Broxton, who, for my money, has been the best offensive lineman in the league this year. And they lost him for a week, but he'll be back after the bye. Dejon Allen, who's missed almost the entire season with an early bicep injury, is also coming back after the bye. So next week, they're going to have a bye, and then the week after that, they're going to get those 2 tackles back in place. And when you watch BC practice, which I get to do a couple times a week, you can see what Buck Pierce is doing with that offense. And they brought in Xander Horvath, that big back, to be a changeup. They're playing with more tight end looks. They're getting ready for winter football on the prairies, guys. So, if they go to Saskatchewan or if they go to Winnipeg,
don't tell us that.
You watch what they're doing in practice, and maybe they can do it differently.
We don't need that scouting report. But can you send video from your phone next week when you're there? Any advantage we can get, please start sending it through. We'll set up a private Slack channel. Just fire raw video. We'll take it.
I asked Darian this. I asked Darian this on Monday, and I'll throw it to you. A little bit difficult. Someone's giving you a free sprinkle right now, a free bet. Right now, you got a place at. Who are we going to see in the Grey Cup?
I said at the beginning of the year, Saskatchewan and Montreal would play in the Grey Cup, and I'm going to stick to that. Montreal with Davis Alexander is awesome. They are a much better team with him. He makes everybody better. He makes the defense better. He makes everybody better. And we saw it in the last game. They're going to win the East, in my mind, without question. And I think BC can give Saskatchewan a run, but I still like Saskatchewan. I think they're the most complete team in the West.
I like that you're sticking with it. What do you think of that Kaprizov signing? Let's move to hockey here. Isn't that a number? What's Connor McDavid's thoughts? What's Hughes thinking right now?
Yeah, and we're talking about that in Vancouver about Quinn Hughes because you saw what his brother just got at $9 million a year, and I think the best case scenario for the Canucks on a Quinn Hughes deal is to potentially get a bridge deal. Like, there's no way he's going to sign, a 7, 8, 9 year deal. 3 to 4 might be their best case scenario right now, and if that happens, now you're talking about crazy money. You're talking about a $20 million deal, or whatever it's gonna take. So. And I think McDavid, best case scenario in Edmonton is that he signs a bridge deal, right? I don't think you're going to get extended term there because he still has questions. So you're going to have to overpay to get him on a shorter term deal, which protects you long term financially, but it hurts in terms of just the comfort level of an entire market to have players that matter that much. I mean, we know McDavid's the best player in hockey. Hughes is arguably the best player to ever play for the Vancouver Canucks, right? I mean, you can make that case. So. Both markets got their eyebrows raised big time after Kaprizov.
So many people are like yesterday. It's like, who is Kaprizov? Like what? Because no one watches Minnesota play. Like you don't sit down in your NHL package and be like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch this Wild game."
I'm gonna tell you honestly, with the amount I'm invested in football, it is so rare for me to watch a hockey game prior to the playoffs that doesn't involve the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah. I pay attention to the Pacific. But anything outside of that, forget about it for me. I got too much football going on.
What did you think about them finally going into the Okanagan and naming that as where they're going to do the games?
I think it's great. I like what they've done on the island. I think they've really worked that market the last couple of years. And, the Lions have had training camp in Kamloops every year. But Kelowna is just a fantastic place, right? So they're going to go in there. They're going to basically rebuild the Apple Bowl temporarily. And it's going to be somewhere between 17 and 20,000 seats. And I'm telling you, the highways to get up to the Okanagan at that time of the year, which is before forest fire season, they are going to be some packed. Because if you needed an excuse to get up there, nobody does, because it is God's country. It's going to be two fantastic events, and I'm excited to see what they're doing, right? A lot of criticism in Toronto has been laid out for what's happening there, and that they're not making the same level of effort and trying to grow the game province-wide. Amar Doman is not that guy. He is fully invested, and the province has gotten behind it, helping out financially as well. because it's certainly not the Lions' fault they got displaced, but it's going to be a lot of fun up in Kelowna. You guys should come down, man. It's going to be awesome.
We can't even go to Swift Current, so I don't think
maybe they get to play Saskatchewan. I know the Lions are hoping that it's going to be Edmonton and Calgary because it's such an easy commute for their fans to get out there for those games. But I'd love to see Saskatchewan come out.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's a good call, and I think it just made sense. I know you got to go coach football here. We appreciate you jumping on today and doing this, and then we'll regroup next week.
Thanks,
all right,
Coach.
Jets, good luck this weekend. Have a good one.
Call the Phillies special twice in practice.
Sounds good.
Bounce pass. See you, Farhan. There's our TSN insider here. It's brought to you by the Cooperators. They can build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, invest in your future together.
He's got an interesting take that the Rider defense is, to him, the reason for the slow starts is that if the pressure's not there, then teams are getting a chance to like roll out their 15 scripted plays or do whatever they're doing. And without that pass rush, guys like Roland Milligan, who he thinks teams aren't scared of him this year, according to Farhan, that there could be more there. I don't know that I've heard that take or that I even thought of that take. Because, slow start, blame the offense.
I haven't.
Slow start, blame the offense. 2 and out, or a 3-play drive, 4-play drive. Then we go, and the defense comes out and usually does what they do. But it's an interesting take. And Farhan watches a lot of football.
And BC getting ready for fall football in the prairies, practicing in balaclavas and
that guy he was talking about, the dude who played 4 or 5 years in the NFL, he's like a bigger AJ Ouellette. And it wasn't last game, it was the game before. He got a lot of touches because Butler was down, and I'm like, this guy's a load. Because he's got speed, but he's got size. He's built like AJ, but he's taller. And he was just running like a tank. He was just running over Stampeder defenders.
Quickly on the chat line here, if you're just tuning in, Campbell Fair is going to be kicking for the Riders Friday in Ottawa. Brett Lawther will not be. DB on the YouTube chat, I'm not sure if that's DB Cooper. Love that story, by the way. It's really a shame about Brett. No issues with leg strength. Seems to be planting foot consistency is the issue, and confidence. Hope he can get his mojo back. Yeah. Confidence would be the biggest thing for a kicker.
I don't know about the plant foot. All I remember is when they used to do the Wendy's kick to win, or what was it, $50,000, and you'd see average humans try and go out and kick a field goal like 15, 20 yards, and just how easy. And if you've ever tried to kick a football, you know how easy it is to botch. What you see on TV is not easy to accomplish, let alone from 56 yards with 12 other dudes, coming straight at you. So confidence, yes. I don't know, plant foot. I don't have the technical knowledge to know if there's a plant foot issue there.
Thanks, DB. Good message. Yeah. We also got one from Gary in Winnipeg sending us screenshots on what's on sale at the grocery store, thinking that we might like it since we're Ukrainian. We'll get to. They're not a sponsor, so we can't get into that. We got to take a break. Colson's telling us we got a break, and now I'm hungry. It is the Sports Cage. We're streaming at sportscage.com, and we're on the home of the Riders, Pats, and Rams, 620 CKRM.
The Country Music Rewind with Colin Lovequist.
Hope you can join us as we take you back into our time machine to 1995. Looking at some of the biggest hits of our time period. That's coming up on Crawford's No Frills Country Music Rewind.
The Country Music Rewind with Colin Lovequist. Brought to you by Crawford's No Frills. Saturday afternoons at 4 and Sunday afternoons at 1 on Country's Greatest Hits, 620 CKRM.
Watch for this Mac Auction Company's upcoming land auction for Grant and Chris Alexander of the historic Horseshoe Creek Shorthorn Farm near Goodwater, Saskatchewan. Over 3/4 sections of land, including the beautiful home and home quarter, have been owned by the Alexander family for over 122 years. To view this auction and register to bid, go to macauctioncompany.com. Also included with the land is over $71,000 of oil service revenue yearly. Bidding begins this Friday, October 3rd.
back to our regular spot, PumpJacks Cathedral.
You know, I thought PumpJacks was a kind of boot polish till last month.
What are you getting?
Kerwin's crispy ribs and a cold pint of local craft. Crispy, meaty, beautiful.
You had me at meaty.
Plus, we got live music on the weekends, big screens. This place is basically my second marriage.
And way cheaper than the first.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, PumpJacks Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
The care your family receives in hospitals, schools, and community programs comes from SEIU West members who live in your community. We're united around something simple. When working people have what they need to do their jobs well, everyone benefits. Our conditions of work are your conditions of care. For more information, visit seiuwest.ca.
Freeze Tallman wants you to get her done before the winter. They can save you time and hassle by delivering your building materials directly to your home or cottage. They have siding, roofing, brown-treated lumber, composite decking, aluminum railing, fencing, everything you need to finish your outdoor building projects before snow falls. Visit freezetallman.com or see them in Regina or Fort Capel. Freeze Tallman. Let's get you building.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. Combined with a LiftMaster opener, it's the right choice. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. And a LiftMaster opener. 100% made by Canadians for Canadians. Steady, tariff-free pricing and great quality, no matter what.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
If it's happening in sports in Saskatchewan, we've got it covered on Sportscage. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. On your radio at 620 CKRM and online at sportscage.com.
Maz is with me. Colson's in the pocket. Today it's for Regina Motor Products. When we started reading this tag, it seems like so long ago. I was like, tire changeover. I ain't changing my tires for a long time. But now it's real. Like, we're at the point now where we could be getting snow anytime in the next 7 days. So
it's October 1st, and so now it's basically anytime.
The early tire swap is on till October 31st. Book early and save on your tire changeover at RMP. Save $10 on your on-rims tires, $20 on your off-rims. Those are me. I'm an off-rim guy. RMP is where they can hook you up.
Oh, speaking of tires, my mother-in-law texted again yesterday that the other set of tires for my wife's car are still in her garage. It's been a year, wondering if I am ever coming over to get them. Anita, listen, they're in a safe place. Are they really bothering you? You guys barely drive your vehicles anyways. It's not like they're in the way.
If you haven't, if you're just tuning in and you missed it, the news out of Rider Camp, 2 big pieces from our Dave Thomas. Campbell Fair will be kicking for the Riders Friday in Ottawa. We are going to hear from Campbell Fair in about 5 minutes' time on this program. And also, Tommy Stevens is out. Yeah. AJ Ouellette, we look for more of him on that short yardage play. So that's the update there. Regina Pats are in action tonight, 7 o'clock against the Edmonton Oil Kings. If you want to go to that ice hockey game, 936-6262, only for the next 15 minutes, Colson's saying. He's got to give away those tickets before the top of the hour. 2 tickets to the game tonight. Maddox Schultz is expected to be in the lineup. We're going to hear from Dante DeCaria coming up in a bit. Maz, the other big news in Saskatchewan today, I heard it on the Wolf with Chad and Evan this morning. So I was driving a group of grade 9ers to school. Minimum wage has gone up to $15.35. Is that correct? $15.35?
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the back seat, in the front seat, and we're talking. And I'm like, I remember when a minimum wage in Sasky, $5.35 an hour. I remember working for that. These kids in the vehicle could not comprehend what I was saying. And I was like, you got to remember, we could go to McDonald's with $2.50 and you were fairly full. After, doesn't it seem like we are talking about the Stone Ages? Like how much was the buffet at Pizza Hut? If you really wanted to treat yourself, maybe you were dating somebody, you go for a buffet at the Pizza Hut. That was like $5.99 at lunch. I'm not doing the supper one. That's crazy talk. But it was all relative.
My first job at Domino's Pizza, because I'm a little older than you, $4.25. That's what minimum wage was.
Oh, yeah.
Now, these kids, it's funny, these kids that are questioning you, they all have $1,200 iPhones in their pocket. They have no idea where those came from. Like I was explaining to our daughter, she's 13. I'm like, if you were to do stuff around the house and we were to keep track, do you know how long it would take you at minimum wage to pay off this phone? That's never going to happen. I think 5 minutes later, I ended up unloading the dishwasher. I don't know how I got talked out of that. And I do laundry. I do run a good all-inclusive, Barney. Dishes, meals, laundry, like you name it, cable TV. Like I put on a good show.
Do you do nightly performances? Do you do like a fire show or anything like that at night? Maybe a Michael Jackson tribute band like an all-inclusive would?
Speaking of fire show, we were over at the in-laws. Speaking of the tires. So I'm like, they don't like barbecuing. I'm like, well, let's go over there, all barbecue supper. So let me light the barbecue by myself. So, and it's not the best barbecue, but the plan was for them to get a new one this summer, but they didn't. All right, so it's old. So you have to light it with like the long lighter.
Yeah. That's
if you're lighting smokes or candles or whatever you're doing.
For sure.
So then there was a puff of flame because the gas was on a little long, but because the thing was like not sparking, he's like, oh, geez. Oh. So there, for the next 60 seconds, there was a bit of a lecture, and I wanted to be like, Dave, do you want supper or not? It's lit. You didn't die. Neither did I. Let's go in the house. You have a seat. Watch the baseball game. I got this.
Dave and Anita?
Dave and Anita.
Dave and Anita sound like a handful, man. No, I don't know if I'd be going over there. Like, did Anita call the fire department too, just to really make it dramatic?
She's always on my side because she realizes like there's sometimes we take things a little too far. No, she's great. They're great people. Just sometimes it's like, I get it. I've lit a barbecue before.
Yeah, no, that propane, that little, and sometimes I think there's a backup. It can sneak up on you. But
it's natural. It's natural gas, but the hose isn't long enough.
After 10 years old, kids got to be able to do their own laundry. Put it in the dryer, fold it, put it away. No, emptying the dishwasher. That has to be at 10 years old. Your kids have to. I waited till 13 for the lawn cutting. I thought that was fair. All that stuff, you got to. Minimum wage, $15.35 an hour. But that's all relative. $15.35, what can you get nowadays for $15.35 in Saskatchewan? Like you go buy 4 Slurpees, it's running $15. It's like, what happened? That's why we bought a Slurpee machine.
Well, what was it, in August or September when Slurpees were on sale for whatever size for $2 at Sev? We were aggressive. I'm like, let's fill our boots because for the rest of the year when they go back up to 3 something, no.
Yeah.
No.
My daughter on National Slurpee Day, you can take any cup. It's only $1. She had all her friends lined up. She had her brother lined up. She calls the 7-Eleven. Somebody picks up. 7-Eleven NOD Regina. Somebody picked up. Kudos to them. Hey, is it $1 bring your own cup day? No, sorry, that's only in the United States. She was devastated. I had to take her. We'll get to more on the minimum wage thing as we get going here. The big news at a Rider camp. Campbell Fair will be kicking for the Riders. Dave Thomas, fresh off the presses, as they say, caught up with Fair.
Campbell Fair, you've now been in Saskatchewan for a little over a month. How have you changed as a kicker?
It's a good question. I think I've gained a lot of confidence from working with these guys. It's good to have some other specialist minds that I can lean on, and it's helped to learn from Brett and from Joe and Jesse and Jorgen. It's been great to learn from them, and I think I feel more confident. So,
I don't want to say that your specialist group is an isolated group, but it obviously has a very unique skill set that you all have a little piece of. What can you take from one another? Do you compare notes?
Well, we all work together to accomplish a common goal. So we can ask things out of each other to make the other guy's job easier, and so it's all about tweaking little things and trying to find the best product. So,
how many small things go into that? How much is that is mental? How much is it physical? Is it both?
Yeah, it's mental. There's a lot of like timing aspects, like my cue for when to leave versus Jorgen's cue for when to snap, and we're just trying to get that synced up so we can get the right op time and get in a rhythm.
Brett Lather has been very complimentary of you. He said you're going to take somebody's job in this league, and he doesn't know when it'll be. Yeah. What does that mean to you, hearing that?
Yeah, that's huge, because that's kind of what I've been wanting to do, and it's good to know that a kicker who's done it has a belief in me that I can do the same thing.
Now, we talked about your journey, right? You're back home, you're waiting for a call, that call finally comes, you sign, you're here. Have you been able to put all that behind you, or does that still seem like just yesterday and maybe a dream?
Well, I think once we got past the bye, it felt like I had settled in, and I feel really comfortable now, and I can just be myself around the guys now and feel good.
Your job obviously is to be ready. So whenever that number might get called, you have to be ready. Brett Lather misses a day this week in practice with a back ding, if you want to call it that. What would it mean to get a first Canadian Football League start? Have you dreamt of that?
Yeah, that would be huge. Like ever since I started kicking, since I was like 16, my goal was to get to the CFL. So, and especially over the past 2 years, once I've been in the room, but not getting to play. I've definitely been getting eager for it, so it would be a great moment.
At the age of 16, how do you decide, I could be good at this kicking thing? I'm going to give it a shot?
Well, when I started, I was really bad. I was a soccer player, and I couldn't get the soccer form to work, so I was lucky to have a great coach when I first started, and he instilled the confidence in me, and he was huge in getting me to believe that I can get to this point.
Well, speaking of coaches, your coach Kent Majuri says that the ball explodes off your foot due to the torque that you're able to use with your leverage, and this to me is like science. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, that's big that he knows I have some power and stuff, but I definitely have some long limbs, and that helps to generate torque, and I do have a good leg snap on impact, and that helps to pop the ball.
In practice, what's the longest field goal you've ever kicked?
Here with Riders, 63, but just on myself with a little bit of wind at my back, 71.
You're supposed to say completely calm in 71.
I got to be honest.
Campbell, appreciate your time. It's great catching up, and all the best.
Yep, thank you.
620 CKRM's Ranch Roundup is heading out to the pasture. But we're not horsing around. We're riding up with steaming hot Tim Hortons coffee and muffins fresh as a spring calf to say thanks to hard-working ranchers. We heard you earned it. It's the Ranch Roundup for Heartland Livestock Services Yorkton, Canadian Agri-Blend, Moose Creek Red Angus, Team Auctions, and 620 CKRM.
The Ritchie Brothers Fall Farm season is here, featuring a huge selection of agricultural equipment coming up for auction across Canada. With 28 separate equipment auctions scheduled between October 2nd and November 6th, we're confident you'll find the equipment you need to get up and running or expand operations. And the best part is you can view detailed listings and quickly assess their assets entirely online. Head on over to rbauction.com to learn more about this great opportunity. Once again, that's rbauction.com.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
Love the open road and making a difference? Prairie Valley School Division is looking for reliable, caring school bus drivers to support our students in their education by safely transporting them to and from school. Whether you're retired, a stay-at-home parent, or looking for meaningful work, we need you. Routine hours, paid training, competitive pay, benefit plans, $250 signing bonus. Apply today at pvsd.ca. Drive with purpose. Drive with Prairie Valley.
Canada's Conservatives have put forward a bill that will unlock our nation's true potential by rewarding those who build and invest in Canada. The Canadian Sovereignty Act introduces measures such as the Canada First Reinvestment Tax Cut to eliminate capital gains tax on reinvestments in Canada, ensuring that money stays here and builds our great economy. My name is Warren Steinley, your Conservative Member of Parliament for Regina Louvain, and I will always be on Saskatchewan's side.
Paid ad by Warren Steinley.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Bundle and save with Reliance Heath. Rent a new water heater and softener together and get $400 cash back. Call on Reliance Heath today.
Saskatchewan Roughriders will have a new kicker in Ottawa on Friday. Campbell Fair is getting the start. Also, Tommy Stevens will be out for the green and white. WHL tonight, Oil Kings in town to take on the Pats. Pats looking for win number 1 on the season. Maddox Schultz expected to be in the lineup. AAA Estevans in Notre Dame, 7:30. AAA female Prince Albert making the beautiful Wednesday trip into Regina. Take on the Rebels, 7:30 at the Sixer. Major League Baseball today, it was Cleveland evening up the series with Detroit, 6-1 win. San Diego's up 3-0 on the Cubs in the 9th. Yankees and Sox get started here in about 5 minutes' time, and then the Reds and Dodgers are this evening. Sportscage.com poll. What is the most significant headline from the Riders' practice on Tuesday? The Kosianeka being released, Kean Schaefer-Baker back from injury, Campbell Fair, and Philippe Gagnon moved to left guard. You can vote at sportscage.com. A chance to win pretty cool prize pack there when you're a Sportscage insider. It is for Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Bundle and save right now. Rent a new water heater and softener together. Get $400 in cash back. Call on Reliance today. We've been talking about it. It is a Regina Pats game coming up tonight, 7 p.m. puck drop at home against Edmonton. Dante DeCaria is joining us. Dante, how do we get, what should we tell people, I guess, to get down and watch the Pats tonight and Edmonton?
Well, I guess we'll just start off with what's happening off the ice, and our game day manager, Bryce Buns, has done a fantastic job. Last year we had our cup giveaway on every Wednesday game. There's 7 Wednesday games inside the Brand Center this year, and we've got a brand new giveaway. I don't want to give it away just yet, but these are kind of these cool sew-on patches that we have, and tonight it's actually going to feature kind of an image of Pat's veteran local product, Colton Bridgman, skating on Mosaic. So if you're trying to picture what it looks like, you're going to have to come out to the Brand Center. It's only to the first 500 fans through the doors tonight. We also have 2-for-1 hot dogs up until puck drop. So it's Wiener Wednesday. Every Wednesday home game, it's 2-for-1 hot dogs. So those are kind of the big promotional items heading into tonight's game off the ice. Barney, as far as on the ice goes, this is an Edmonton Oil Kings team that has 5 NHL drafted players. They're led by Blake Fiedler. He was drafted 36th overall by the Seattle Kraken. So lots of potential NHL players in the lineup tonight, and an Edmonton Oil Kings team that, you know, according to the CHL rankings, are expected to be, you know, a top 3-4 team in the WHL.
There we go. Wow, that's and now I'm craving a hot dog, obviously. Maddox Schultz in the lineup, but not Liam Pugh tonight?
Yeah, that's right. Liam Pugh is nursing a lower body injury that it looks like he sustained in a game on Sunday with the Regina Pats Canadians. So he's not in the lineup. According to, you know, the medical professionals, it's best to kind of let him rest it out. And, you know, he's only 15 years old. It's so hard playing for 2 teams, Barney, as you know. So Maddox Schultz is healthy. He'll look for his first WHL goal tonight, and hopefully he's able to get that. He was so close. He hit the post, you know, almost made it a 5-5 game on Friday in the home opener. So I think he's due.
That's right. All right. There you go. First 500 fans, special little prize, 2-for-1 hot dogs, and it's Wednesday. Really nothing else to do in the town. So get down and watch the Pats. Dante, thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, Barney. Appreciate it.
And don't forget, for the next few minutes here, we do have 2 tickets for that game tonight against Edmonton, 7 p.m. puck drop. You got to let us know right now, 936-6262. Text us in. Colson wants to know your favorite Pat player of all time. It is a Sportscage. We're streaming at sportscage.com, and we're on the home of the Pats, 620 CKRM.
We are 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Corey Atkinson from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM News. Police arrested 2 people after finding firearms inside a vehicle on Forget Street in Regina on September 30th. Officers were first called about a man slumped over the steering wheel, but later found a woman asleep in the back seat with a gun beside her. The tactical support and canine units helped get her out after she resisted arrest. A police service dog was used, and she was treated for dog bite injuries. A search revealed a sawed-off rifle and a shotgun. A 25-year-old suspect faces 12 charges. The City of Regina is seeking public feedback on its animal bylaw, sparking debate over whether certain dog breeds should be banned. The survey asks residents 12 questions, including limits on breed ownership and the number of pets per household. Some residents, like Liana Vogelsang, say owners, not breeds, determine a dog's behavior. Others, like Kevin King, support breed restrictions for safety. Mayor Chad Bashinsky says the survey is an important step to understand what works and what needs updating, aiming to keep the community safe. The Alberta government says it plans to submit an application for a new oil pipeline to northwestern British Columbia. The proposal is to be filed with the new Federal Major Projects Office in the spring of next year. Premier Danielle Smith says it's about unlocking Canada's full economic potential, but Ottawa needs to make some changes first.
The simple fact is that you will not see companies sink billions of dollars into new major projects unless the federal government overturns or overhauls its Trudeau-era anti-resource development policies.
The province is putting up $14 million to support early planning. A forensic audit found more than $34 million in questionable or ineligible spending by the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations, but the group says it has strong financial controls. The audit, done for Indigenous Services Canada, reviewed 5 years of funding. It reported most COVID-19 aid, about $25 million, was used improperly and flagged issues with travel costs and overpayments. FSIN says all COVID-19 funding was properly used, clerical errors were corrected, and it has not received the full audit report despite repeated requests. Famed conservationist Jane Goodall has died at the age of 91.
My role now is to introduce
Dr. Jane Goodall.
Moments before Jane Goodall was set to take the stage, her death was announced. On stage, she was introduced, and the children in the crowd were told she couldn't be there.
Due to unforeseen, serious circumstances.
Followed by this announcement.
Has passed away due to natural causes.
Then a video message from Goodall was played for the children.
Trying to make this a better world.
Followed by a moment of silence.
You're the beneficiaries of the last message of a giant.
Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And Nickelback frontman Chad Kroeger and mixed martial arts star George St. Pierre are among the stars of Jared Keeso's upcoming TV comedy. Crave says the rock star singer and former UFC champion are part of an ensemble for I Kill the Bear, a 6-part half-hour series about a family that wrangles bears for film productions. Keeso created, writes, and stars alongside a stacked cast that includes his old 1902 co-star Adrian Holmes, Kristen Kroik of Smallville fame, and Jonathan Torrens of Mr. D and Trailer Park Boys. Production is underway in Sudbury, Ontario. I Kill the Bear is set to premiere on Crave in 2026. That was your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
Weather brought to you by Line X Regina. Serious protection, killer looks, 1865 McCarra Street. Weather tonight, clear and a low down to 10 degrees. Tomorrow looking at mostly sunny and a high of 23. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, a low down to 8. Friday, mostly cloudy, showers possibly late in the day and a high of 21. Saturday, cloudy sky, spotty showers in the area and a high of 17. And Sunday, partly sunny and breezy and a high of 12. Currently in downtown Regina, we have clear sky and it is 24 degrees.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Regina Motor Products early tire swap offer on now. Book before October 31st to save $10 on an on-rim and $20 on an off-rim tire changeover. Visit Regina Motor Products today. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Hour 2. It is for RMP. Like we said, we can get snow at any time now. Get your tires changed over. RMP is the place to do it. San Diego did beat the Cubs 3-rip, so that series is tied 1-1. Cleveland and Detroit side 1-1. And the Sox and Yankees starting right now. We'll keep you updated here. Maz is with me on this Wednesday. Colson's in the pocket. Saskatchewan Roughrider Foundation 50-50. The early bird till 5 o'clock tomorrow. It is a Banff family ski getaway. Package for 4, 2 nights at the Banff Caribou Lodge and Spa, full day tour of Lake Louise and ice fields, lift tickets, or you can just take $2,700 cash if you want to save your knees.
I think that Banff Caribou Lodge, I think that Banff Caribou Lodge, it has a keg restaurant in the lobby, so it's a decent hotel. It's not the Banff Springs, but it has a keg in the lobby, which is great. It's solid.
No free plugs. Riders5050.ca, early bird tomorrow at 5 p.m. Okay, so the Pat tickets are gone. Pats play tonight, 7 o'clock. We gave away those tickets. Thanks to everybody who messaged in. I'm not sure where Colson landed, but he is giving them away. Now, for this hour, you got a chance to win Regina Rams tickets. 4 tickets, 2 adult, 2 youth. This Saturday's game against the Calgary Dinos. Kickoff 2 p.m. at Mosaic Stadium. You also get 2 youth hoodies. They're smaller hoodies, so if you're smaller, female or male, you wear them too. And 2 water bottles. 936-6262. Text in the code word RAMS. Colson will pick that just for this hour. Then hour 3, we're going to have more winning. food winning, rider tickets winning. So much going on here on the Sportscage. Maz and I were talking about it earlier. The big news out of Riderville is Campbell Fair is kicking for Brett Lawther on Friday. Also, Tommy Stevens is out. And then the big news in Saskatchewan, the minimum wage is up to $15.35 an hour. So people are texting in. Also, shout out to Pat, because when we started the show, I was giving the farmer friends, a shout out, and I was like, what is it called when they go up and down the fields? And I said paths, and it was Pat. What's that? Yeah, it's swaths. Barney, idiot. Let's throw myself under the bus. Swaths. I want to drive a combine for literally a half hour. Just one day. That's all I want to do. Go up and down, drive.
For the last 30 seconds, to anybody that owns a combine that's worth anywhere between $800 to $1.4 million, for what the last 30 seconds of what you just said, no one is letting you drive a combine for a half hour.
Easy.
With a piece of equipment that expensive?
Yeah,
no. I
drove a Toyota MR2 stick shift. I'll be fine in a combine. Barry messaged in, when I started working, my very first job, minimum wage, was $1.78 packing groceries, delivering groceries, stocking shelves. Barry goes way back. $1.78.
Yeah, well, what year is that, Barry?
Barry, what
Text
year
back
is that?
in, Barry. What year is that? We need to know the year.
Then Gary, which rhymes with Barry, but Gary's in Winnipeg. 1973, I graduated from high school, got a job with the CPR at $3 an hour, but gas was 30 cents a gallon. Today, gas is $6 a gallon, but not many people are making $60 an hour to maintain the 10-to-1 ratio. Gary from Winnipeg. What was your...
30.
So I was talking to the kids, and this is how it all started this morning. And I was like, yeah, when I worked minimum wage, $5.35 an hour. I remember it. Like, looking back now, it was like, but you could go to McDonald's with $3 and load up. You could take your friend. You could go to the Pizza Hut buffet for $5 or whatever it was. The other thing, though, Maz, is to save up so hard to buy a CD, a compact disc. And you'd go to Audio Warehouse or A&B Sound or Sam the Record Man, wherever, and you'd buy that, and you'd get, it was $12.99. $12.99 for a CD. And that CD only had one good song on it. You felt ripped off.
I know, but you spend so much money spending $12 to $15, $16, sometimes $18.99 that you're like, well, I'm going to listen to the whole thing. I just made this is a huge financial investment. I have to listen to every track on here. I have to. And now Spotify... It's just like, it's just singles, just
Kids
songs.
Will never know. Kids will never know the grind. Like that, those, and social media, you see the CD cases, which I still have, and you had to put it in and take it out. And then if you had a 6 CD changer, you're a baller. That's what you are. The one CD that stands out that I got ripped off on to this day, and I still have it in my CD case, Michael Peterson, country singer. He had that hit, Drink, Swear, Steal, and Lie. Really good toe tapper. Yep. Nice little two-stepper. That was the only good song on the album. I still feel ripped. I feel like he owes me $12.
I loved, in the old days, reading liner notes, reading the inside cover, who wrote the songs, if there's messages from the band, all that, reading the line. Because that was how you learned. There was no internet. It was a totally different time. And
lyrics?
It was...
if the lyrics weren't on that case, you're making them up. Slowing it down. What does he say there?
I've heard the song Money Talks by AC/DC probably 10,000 times like everybody else. There's still lyrics in that song. I'm like, I don't know what you just said. I've made it up, like you said, for all of these years. And then you go and read them and be like, really? That's what they've been saying? All this time? It's not what I was saying. That's what Brian Johnson's been singing?
Let's find out what the last minimum wage job Arash Madani had. Here we go with Arash.
It's time to go coast to coast with Arash Madani for Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Gawley at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
Pumping gas in Truro, Nova Scotia for how much an hour?
Forget that. I mean, how many times have we been asked to, hey, you think you can MC our event? We don't have a lot of budget.
Which means zero.
We'll feed you. We'll feed you and get you a parking voucher. So What's under minimum wage?
Community service.
Community service. And God knows, Maz, I've been sentenced to that a few times over the years.
$15.35 an hour in Sasky for the minimum wage right now. Man, $5.35 an hour washing vehicles, Maz, on Circle Drive in Saskatoon at Automaster. Actually, a really good gig.
Yeah.
Got to talk to people. You know, ladies would bring their cars in. Hey, don't scrub too hard. What? I'm washing your car.
Yeah, isn't that the point?
And I got possibly hammered on gin last night.
Right.
I don't feel great. I'm making $5.35 an hour. Leave me alone.
Don't vomit in the car. That should have been the real.
No, that was my first ever experience with gin. Now it's my drink of choice. I thought for sure you would have had a minimum wage story.
Oh, I delivered pizzas. I still to this day tip really well when the delivery guy comes to the door because I remember that grind.
Good. Maz worked at Domino's.
Right.
I tried to get. I worked at Vern's Pizza in Saskatoon. Here's the thing: have you guys ordered anything on one of the food apps in the last little while? I ordered something for the fam. This is about a month ago. I wrote it down in my show notes. Here, I'll be full transparency. Daughter and I thought it'd be great. Let's order some movie theater popcorn. It's pouring rain. Let's put on a movie in the sunroom, theater popcorn, and let's, And it was like an old school movie. All of a sudden, I order the popcorn, and you know what it says? Seriously, I have the screenshot. Tip generously. It's raining.
Come on.
I wouldn't make this up. I'd make up better stories than this.
How could you? Yeah.
That's what it says.
It's raining.
I can see
How about
-40.
pay your staff generously.
Yeah. And it's funny, Barney, I have none of those apps on my phone because if I'm going to do it, I'll go pick it up myself because if you've seen some of the people, if you're waiting in a restaurant and you see some of the people that are going to deliver your food, that bag that they carry around, they don't even zip up. The other day I had the kids and we were going through drive-through and the guy, first thing he did, we got in his car with a bag full of food. He lit up a cigarette. And the other thing, too, is it really gets me is, guys, gals, this breakfast burrito that you're delivering is not that important. Don't ever park in a handicap zone. Even if you're running in for 60 seconds, no, don't, and throw your flashers on. That is not cool. Doesn't matter the weather, doesn't matter the situation. Do not ever do that. Because you are breaking, that's the number one rule.
Sure, but on a Saturday or Sunday morning, feel free to drive up and park on my lawn if there's no parking outside the house. Feel free, because I'm really going to need that breakfast burrito after a gin night with Barney.
Breakfast burritos are overrated. Just go Egg McMuffin. Ooh. Just go. Hey, what's your stance in, Maz, on handicap stalls in a bathroom if they're all taken?
That is a hot take right there. Hot takes aren't just in sports, apparently.
Just wait. Like, why would you take that from somebody? Like, come on.
We got so much.
Oh, and Arash, we learned last hour. And at Barney's house, once you hit 10 years old, you do your own laundry. So if you win that Rams prize pack with the youth hoodies, at Barney's house, you're washing those hoodies yourselves, kids. Sorry, mom and dad are completely out of the picture.
Hey, you met Mrs. S. She's a busy lady. We don't have time to be doing laundry.
Mrs. S is a busy lady. What's your excuse?
Yeah. You're ordering movie theater popcorn. That's how lazy you are.
Hey.
Don't tell me you don't have time to do laundry.
Hey, I fertilize the lawn. What else do I do? Take away all the patio furniture, all that heavy lifting stuff that's coming up in the next couple weeks here. That lands on me. All right. Oh, this is I like Wednesday, Arash. We're just we even talk sports. We just keep talking this. No, but let's be honest here. It's October, postseason baseball. Blue Jays win the AL East, first division title in 10 years. They're not going to play again till Saturday. What's been going on? What are they doing in this break?
So the team had, let me get the dates right here. They clinched Sunday. Hell of a party they had Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, full days off. Today they had an intra-squad game. And I thought this was pretty cool, actually. So they have their regular team, and they brought in a bunch of their minor leaguers from all over to just kind of get out there, go through the motions, try and keep sharp. Et cetera, et cetera. But they opened up the dome charging $10 a head to anybody who wants to come watch, and that's going to Jays Care Foundation, their charity. So there were media availabilities involved with today. We have come to find out that Bo Bichette is still not running the bases. Guys, I do not see in what scenario Bichette is going to be available for the DS. We'll get the winner of the Yankees and the Red Sox. And it sounds like Chris Bassett will be back off the injured list. Jose Barrios will not. So to me, this is shaping up to be Shane Bieber starts game 1, Kevin Gausman starts game 2, and Trey Savage, who began the year at the lowest level of minor league baseball and has moved up 5 levels to the big leagues this year, looks like Savage is going to get either a game 3 or a game 4 start in the postseason as a rookie.
So, Arash, last night, the New York Yankees, and I'm sure they would have loved to finish first and had somebody else play the buzzer. They run into Crochet, 11 strikeouts, retires 17 batters in a row. If the Red Sox move on, that dominance, the Jays, how do the Jays counter something like that? He's been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year, and last night he looked almost unbeatable at times.
Yeah, untouchable, really. Gave up the 1 homer to Volpe, and that was it. By the way, Maz, isn't it amazing you play 162 games in a season, and it came down to game 162? Like, if the Jays lost and the Yankees won, the Yankees win the division. I tell you what, as impressive as Crochet was, and he was, we now live in a world where these organizations want to manage before the game even starts. They want to use their analytics and their binders and their spreadsheets and set out a plan. Like, never before had Crochet thrown 117 pitches. But Alex Cora saw what this guy was doing, how well he was dealing. He trusted his guy, he trusted his vet, and he kept going with them. Under no circumstance was the plan for Crochet to get into the 8th inning. It got to the point where after the 7th, not only did Cora show confidence by keeping him in, boys, there was nobody getting loose in the bullpen after the 7th inning. What kind of message does that send your ace? You're our guy, we're going to roll with you, and it paid off that he did it. Look, the Jays are going to have a lot of trouble with him if it is Boston. I still think the Yankees can come out and win this thing. They'd face Crochet on Saturday if that's the case in game 2. But I tell you what, man, Alex Cora managed his butt off last night. He used 2 pitchers the entire night.
Then I was listening to the Dan Patrick show today, and they were talking about how Yankees manager
Aaron Boone.
Yeah, how he
Billy Martin.
He plays it stupid the other way.
Yeah, and I don't buy that. I think that somebody looking at a box score and wasn't watching the game. There you go. Max Fried, he wasn't in trouble, but it was starting. The storm clouds were there. In the 4th, in the 5th, in the 6th, there was action on the base paths. You just kind of felt that the Red Sox were coming and coming and coming, and I get it. The Yankees bullpen is not strong. But look, if it is the Yankees coming here, Max Fried is New York's ace. The Blue Jays are not scared of Max Fried. They get to him. And Fried has shown this year, the 3rd time through the order, he really struggles against offenses. So I actually agree in the situation with what Boone did. I don't think it was predetermined. Just based on the way the Red Sox were starting to read his pitches and get to him, I thought it was the right decision by Boone.
Ben Rice, Jerry's boy, just hit a home run in the bottom of the 1st. 1-0 Yankees.
They're still a tough out.
Sorry.
They're still a tough out. They got the better starter tonight with Rodon going. If this goes game 3, it's back at Yankee Stadium. Guys, remember last night, it's a 2-1 ball game in the 9th inning. Bases loaded. Roldis Chapman got out of the jam, right? So like this is there's miles to go before we sleep in this series.
It's almost too bad because you're seeing some really good baseball, but with that's what I love this 3-game series. It's over so fast. And almost, I wish the NHL would adopt this for the first round, make it best of 3. And if you really wanted to see guys try and kill themselves, a best of 3, and you're on to the next one. This is something I haven't always agreed with everything Major League Baseball does. I do love what Smoltz came out last week and said, first half winner, second half winner, so you can keep teams in it. But this 3-game wild card, as a fan who is a casual at best baseball fan, I love this 4 days worth of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Maz, now that you've allowed 12 out of the 30 teams into the postseason, yes, roll the dice. Like before, you had to win your division, it meant something. Now that it doesn't, now that everybody's allowed in, as long as you're not basically a 100-loss team, shoot, let's see how it goes. Like I agree with you on the hockey thing. Make it gimmicky. If you're going to add a 9th and a 10th team into the playoffs, make them play a best of 3, but you can't ride the same starting goaltender at the same time. You don't like that rule? Well, finish in the top 8. Don't like it, pitch better. So anyway, that's my rant for the day.
I love it.
We haven't even talked about the Calgary Stampeders yet.
Well, we have you tomorrow. So how much CFL do we want to do today and save for tomorrow? Because did you hear the news? Brett Lauther's not playing Friday for the Riders. They're going Campbell Fair.
What's happened? Why do we hate Central Nova Scotia so much? What's going on?
Well, minimum wage.
Yes. Wage went up, so Campbell Fair gets the nod?
No, and then you couldn't go into the forest, Arash. Remember that? You'd get a $30,000 ticket for going in the forest in Nova Scotia.
Today.
That's probably nuts.
Matt, today, October 1st. The deadline has passed. You can now go into the forest and on the paths. As of October 1, you're allowed.
I know, but now Sharky's got to give his guns back because there's this gun thing. You got to turn in your guns now to the federal government. That's not going to go over well. Sharky said, come get me.
Sharky is hunting right now.
I know he is. Representing Saskatchewan proudly. Fully strapped. Loaded with ammo.
I want to talk CFL tomorrow. We can talk baseball today, whatever you want today. But my honest question, I missed the Lauther news. So what was the justification or the?
Well, they're saying
back injury.
They're saying there was a lumbar injury, but we're not sure.
Lumbar, huh?
We'll probably get to the lumbar yard, get himself a new mattress. But that was the narrative that they were throwing out. So maybe also Tommy Stevens isn't playing Friday in Ottawa. So short yardage.
How many minutes before practice when Mace met with Ariel, do you think they Googled parts of the back to come up with lumbar as the injury today?
I went lumbar. They haven't said anything.
Well, they just went back. Okay.
Barney went lumbar.
Okay.
Barney went all third-year medical student on you, and he decided to throw in lumbar. They're just saying is a back injury. Didn't practice yesterday. Didn't practice today. It is a short week, so Campbell Fair gets his shot. And Arash, to me, here's the question.
I was wondering though, Maz, who the bigger back specialist is in Regina. Would it be Barney or would it be Mace? I'm not quite sure.
I don't know.
You know the one thing I know? You know the one thing I know about the back? The sacroiliac is like a wrap sack backpack. Don't you remember Maestro Fresh West? He said it best. That was all we needed for back schooling back in the 80s and 90s. Maestro.
That's a guy who spent a lot of money on CDs right there, Maz.
Oh. So, Arash, you've covered the CFL. You've seen a lot of different scenarios over the years. Let's say Campbell Fair comes in on Friday, does well for the Riders, does his job, performs admirably, and let's say he gets on a little bit of a heater because kickers and all of this, they're like goalies. Once Brett Lauther is healthy, does he get his job back? If Fair is kicking well, because that's the scenario that will play out to be like, can you lose your job to an injury? But kicking is one of those, it's a vibe type situation. If you got a hot kicker, do you replace him? How does this play out? Okay,
so I'm not calling anyone a liar here, okay? But do you think, honest to God, do you think if the Riders were playing BC this week, that somehow there'd be some magic fairy dust on Brett Lauther's back and he'd be kicking this week ahead of Campbell Fair? Or do you think the fact that the Riders are playing 4-10 Ottawa and in case something actually happens down the road, they don't want Campbell Fair's real first taste of it all to be in such a high leverage situation. You know,
that's not a crazy theory.
Right. Like, let's kind of look into the situation, read the situation. I get the Riders are on a losing streak. I get things haven't gone their way for a little while. But along with Calgary now, Ottawa's the free space on the bingo card. Nobody's worried. This is the situation to put him in, to just see what you have and see how the kid deals with it. And then you move on with your, then you do your evaluation and you move forward.
And do you maybe say to Ottawa, hey, what's up with Lewis Ward? Any chance we could borrow him for a couple months? Maybe. You never know.
I get that Brett Lawler was enemy number one there for a little while and everybody was worried. Are we that concerned with Brett still that we just don't?
Did you watch the game last week?
I did.
They always put in a tough spot.
Yeah.
I just think they got to try something. And the poor guy's confidence, and he is getting put in a spot. He's like, hey, buddy, go out there and kick this 56-yarder, which in 2025, 56, is it our dad's 56? Probably not, but still, he's got nothing for confidence. And then he's got to go try and drill one of these from 50 or 50 plus. It's tough. And we've talked about it a number of times. Confidence as a kicker. If you don't have the confidence, it's just like a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't know how you bounce back.
I will say this. Don't, like, for those out there, and this has nothing to do with Brett, just has to do with kickers and what we've seen in the NFL the first 4 weeks of the season. Don't get it twisted that, NFL kickers are air quote better than CFL kickers and that they're blasting 60-yard field goals more than ever this year. Yeah, they are. They've changed the footballs. The actual footballs that field goal kickers are using this year are completely different than seasons gone by. And these things are flying. It's like the baseballs from a few years ago that they juiced. They've done the same thing to kicking balls to try and generate more offense. So it's not apples and apples when it comes to the NFL field goals this year compared to years past. And obviously the CFL hasn't done that.
That Maltos character in Montreal is getting a lot of air out of those.
Yeah, he's automatic. He's been awesome.
And you read his story, like just kind of where he was and how he got to where he is. It's like, good on you, buddy, for grinding, for making it. All right. We're going to regroup again tomorrow. We got to regroup with him tomorrow. You got one more?
Sure. I just want to ask Arash about the Ottawa situation, and I know you guys are going to do a little more CFL tomorrow, but it hasn't gone well. Is Bob Dice coaching for his job? Like, is this the end of the line of the Bob Dice tryout in Ottawa if this doesn't pan?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a tryout. I think he's had himself a run, and it hasn't worked out. And I think Ottawa's going to make some kind of change at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Usually when these things happen, they blame one person, if not more. And I think somebody who's going to get caught in the crosshairs in this situation is the head coach. I don't know if the head coach is necessarily the reason why it hasn't worked out there. There are a lot of reasons it hasn't worked out there. They haven't had a quarterback since Trevor Harris left the building. How long ago was that? Their offensive play calling, I just don't get it. They've abandoned their run. Their offensive line isn't good enough. What ends up happening? Baby goes out with the bathwater.
Dead man walking, for sure.
Yeah.
They have to. They have to. Okay, in less than 24 hours, we get to chat again.
We'll talk a lot more Blue Jays tomorrow.
And CFL. See you, Arash.
Yes.
Right on.
Yes.
There's a former pizza delivery guy in Toronto, Nova Scotia, Arash Madani, joining us here. Anytime Arash is on, it's brought to you by Brian Golly, Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian at 546-2533. Okay, we're up to the bottom of the hour here. Let's take a break. Baz will come back. It is the Sports Cage. We're giving away Rams tickets to this weekend's game against Calgary Dinos. You got 28 minutes to get into this. 4 tickets, 2 youth hoodies, 2 water bottles. 936-6262, Prairie Line Rentals text line. Just code word Rams. We are on the home of the Rams, 620 CKRM.
Rider Nation lives on 620 CKRM. I'm Dave Thomas, voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Friday is game day as the Riders take on the Ottawa Redblacks. Countdown to kickoff with Justin Dunk and Tegan Whitco's at 2:30. The pregame show's at 4:30. And kickoff with Luke Mullender and I is at 5:30. Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network is brought to you by Prairie Ford Dealers, Claws of America, and Sask Energy. Stream every moment of Rider football at Sportscage.com.
Proven by countless farmers, 900 Series fence sprayers set the standard for your crops, and it's available at Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Featuring 370 horsepower, 132-foot boom, 1,580-gallon tank, smart drive 4-wheel steering, and liquid logic recirculating boom, the 900 Series fence sprayers are backed by a 3-year, 2,000-hour Gold Star warranty. Leaders drive Fendt. To learn more about making your crops successful, visit Nick's Service today. nicksservice.com.
For sale, 2 quarters of farmland southwest of Bethune in the RM of Dufferin. Bids must be delivered to the Curran and Fielding Law Firm in Moose Jaw on or before 1 p.m. October 6. The seller is not obliged to accept the highest or any bid and may reject all bids. That's 2 quarters of farmland for sale in the RM of Dufferin. For information, call the Curran and Fielding Law Firm in Moose Jaw, 306-693-7181. That's 306-693-7181.
This is Brian Gawley with Smart Investing Solutions. Successful farmers and business owners, please listen to me for the next 30 seconds. When the time comes, how are you going to get your corporate retained earnings and profits out of your operating company in order to fund your retirement without paying too much income tax? If you don't know and you need options, call me, Brian Gawley, at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533, or go to smartinvestingsolutions.ca.
Get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
Meet Todd. It's noon. He's really hungry, and his stomach makes sure to let him know it.
Todd, we talked about this. No more skipping meals. I need cheese. I need crust. I need Western Pizza.
All right. Western Pizza it is.
Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today before your stomach starts making demands.
And get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
This is where we play. This is where we live. Extreme Hockey and Sport is where we shop when we need the gear for our game in our town. Hockey is in our blood as much as the prairies themselves. Extreme Hockey and Sport understands this. That's why they provide the Saskatchewan Stars of tomorrow only the best. Every level, any budget, expert fit. They're your local sit and fit hockey shop. Extreme Hockey and Sport, 1425 McIntyre Street, Regina's Hockey Shop.
The Ritchie Brothers Fall Farm season is here, featuring a huge selection of agricultural equipment coming up for auction across Canada. With 28 separate equipment auctions scheduled between October 2nd and November 6th, we're confident you'll find the equipment you need to get up and running or expand operations. And the best part is you can view detailed listings and quickly assess their assets entirely online. Head on over to rbauction.com to learn more about this great opportunity. Once again, that's rbauction.com.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
The Sportscage Clutch Performer for Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Call 781-1077.
I don't know where you guys, if you guys have one to throw out here, but I want to say Clutch Performers. Everybody involved in the Western Canada Pro Hockey Scouts Foundation event last night in Regina, celebrating Indigenous hockey on Truth and Reconciliation Day. Garth Malarchuk, local legend Ross Mahoney. Great job. They had 2 separate hot stoves. Dave Tiger Williams got really choked up. Really choked up talking about Brian Trottier in the old days and how, he kind of took Brian under his wing. Joey Tedorenko, always great for a good story. John Morasti, Jordan Tutu let it fly a bit. Toots let it fly a bit. He told some stories about his Nashville days. He wasn't hiding things. He looks like he can still play. Actually, might be a little light to play, but he still says he skates once a week. You know who's a big gentleman? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say on the Tutu front. Have you seen anybody since crush guys like he used to? Just crush guys.
Yeah, he was
like in this era of the NHL. In this era of the NHL, where it is a little soft, he'd be suspended 4 times a year just for hitting hard.
Every hockey is soft, man. Trust me. I'm have chest pains all year watching Bantam AA, the way they're calling it. Went to a AAA midget game, U18, whatever, that Pat Canadians game the other night against Estevan. There was like 8 penalties in the first period. I think 2 were for pushing. Man, it's frustrating. Like, it's kind of like football. Do we just not touch anybody? Is that what we want? I don't know. I'd like to know the mandates coming down from Hockey Canada and the top to be like, listen, we have to get all hitting out of the game of hockey. That's where we need to go. I don't know. But that event was so good. They had the Grand March. If you've ever been around something like that, first off, if you've never been to a powwow in your day, like a Sask place, like, that's amazing. That's amazing. So they had the drums, and then they all walked in, and then they did a couple other songs. It was like it kind of gave you like chills, right? And then just to see Brian Trottier up there, and you sit there and go, imagine the stuff that guy's seen. Like all the Stanley Cups, the Islanders dynasty, Mario and Yarmir and the Pens, like what he has seen. And
didn't you say he pulled out his guitar and started singing?
Well, that Sharky brought him a guitar. Sharky's on the show tomorrow. It was 11 o'clock. I'm like I'm tired. I got to get going. And then I think there was going to be some singing. They could still be singing at the Connexus right now. Who knows what's going on? But the biggest frame, the biggest body in everyone that was there yesterday. Joey Tedorenko's a big dude. I played against him growing up. He's always been big. Kelly Taylor and him, and even his nickname is Buffalo Head. Like his head is, and he's just a big dude. DJ King from Meadow Lake.
Oh.
St. Louis Blues, Washington Capitals. We're gonna have a pod with him, and then I'll run some of it on the cage here. He is a big man. Like Dwight's big, his brother who was there. But DJ, like that, they'd be like running into a concrete wall. So, yeah, Clutch, good job for putting that event on in Regina. Everyone who took advantage and that went and checked it out, it was great. Pats were big. We're big on that. So that was my Clutch Performer for Nick Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fent dealer. Call 781-1077.
I'll go Araldus Chapman yesterday. Came in 9th inning, loaded the bases, and then went, hold on, no, I got this, then retired 3 in a row. I think that's the first time ever, I was reading a stat today, in Major League Baseball history, that in the 9th inning with the bases loaded, some crazy stat that not at least 1 run wasn't scored in like some crazy amount of innings. But Araldus Chapman, just former Yankee, came in and just decided to just end things for the Yankees and their fans.
Tracy's nephew. Yeah, that's great. We have had a number of people message in about the minimum wage going up to $15.35 an hour. Maj and I were talking about back in the day in our job. What do you remember yours at Domino's? How much were you rolling in?
$4.25 an hour for making pizzas at Domino's in Saskatoon on 22nd Street.
Yeah, 30 minutes are free back then, Domino's.
Yeah, I know. That was right next door to Touch of Ukraine in the Bar K.
I think it's still there, my man. Duffers was down the road. Like that it was like $5 all the arcades and mini golf you could have for like 5 hours. Duffers. Probably a slush puppy machine somewhere. So I talked about CDs. Like I was making $5.35 an hour. I remember washing vehicles and doing what I had to do to buy CDs. And CDs were still like $12, $15. Don't even get me into the Columbia House scam, because I pulled one on them. Payback was a you-know-what for Columbia House. But Gary in Winnipeg says, I bought all my CDs at the pawn shop for $5. LP sold for $5 at the Bay in 1973. Because Gary was saying how he had a job at CPR for $3 an hour when he graduated high school. Bro, here we go. Back to the tipping thing with Arash. When it was like, tip generously, it's raining. I was like, on a food app, I was like, is this a joke? Is somebody pranking me? Is this AI? Mark messaged in, I went through a drive-through at, I'm not going to say the name of the place, with my wife, put my card in the machine, and it went to tip. I said to my wife, tip for what? Handing me a bag? I think they heard me. I felt very dumb. Mark. Good on you, Mark.
Mark, trust me, that's why I'm carrying more cash now than ever before, because when we go to these places and they spin the little iPad around, they're like, no, you're not going to get me this time. Not going to get me this time. I'm just going to pay cash. And then there's these businesses, Barney. I don't know if you've been to any of them lately. They're not taking cash anymore. And I'm like, and I'm not a lawyer. If there's a lawyer listening, is this legal? Should you still have to be? And then I remember there was this lady, she goes, well, it's better for you as the customer. And I'm like, if you can explain how this is better for me, who wants to pay with cash, I'm like, I think it's better for you. But is this legal? Can they just start doing this where they don't accept money anymore? It's legal tender.
Here's that little iPad spin around trick that they're doing nowadays. Anything?
Yeah.
You have to keep your head on a swivel. You have to be dialed, because they spin it around. And sometimes the tip portion is starting at 20%, I've found.
I was in a coffee shop. Yeah, I was in a coffee shop. It was 20, 25, and 30. And so she spun it around, and then I had as she was doing that, it was like a Jedi. Pretend it's like Yoda and Darth Vader. Darth Vader's going with the red lightsaber like this, and I'm Yoda with the green. And as she's spinning, I come in from this side with a $20 bill. Boom. Take care of that situation right there. I'm paying cash. I am paying cash.
Okay, we got to go to break here. Then we got the high school football report coming out. Yeah.
The Red Sox just tied it. It's 2-2 with the Yankees in the third inning.
High school football report, Friday Night Lights coming up after the break. But before we go to break, Kevin loves listening to the show. He says, hey, maybe Maz can take the tires out of Anita's garage and ask his neighbor to store them for him. Makes for another entertaining neighbor story. Kev, you're a beauty. It's a Sportscage. We're doing crazy things here. We got high school football coming up. We're streaming at sportscage.com.
SEIU West members are
phlebotomist, food service worker, security officer, plumber,
continuing care assistant,
porter, licensed practical nurse, medical device reprocessing worker, purchasing agent,
environmental services worker,
social services worker, cook, health information management practitioner, switchboard operator,
distribution worker.
The backbone of your public health care system. Learn more at seiuwest.ca.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Can I help you?
Name's Terry Touchdown, sent by Western Pizza. I'm here to deliver the Saskatchewan Roughriders sweet deal. A large 3-topping pizza, 4 sticks of Greek souvlaki, a large Caesar salad, and a liter of soda. All for just $48.95 plus tax. And you're entered to win luxury suite tickets to watch the Riders, like a VIP.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
Canada's Conservatives have put forward a bill that will unlock our nation's true potential by rewarding those who build and invest in Canada. The Canadian Sovereignty Act introduces measures such as the Canada First Reinvestment Tax Cut to eliminate capital gains tax on reinvestments in Canada, ensuring that money stays here and builds our great economy. My name is Warren Steinley, your Conservative Member of Parliament for Regina Louvain, and I will always be on Saskatchewan's side.
Paid ad by Warren Steinley. So, since that little ding on my car last week, I don't know where to take it. I don't even know.
That's easy. Take it to Regina Motor Products.
Who said that?
I did. Down here. I'm Terry the Tire. Regina Motor Products Chevrolet Collision Center and SGI accredited auto body repair is a full-service collision and body shop that works on all makes and models. Just submit your claim to SGI and set an appointment to get your appraisal done. Easy.
I bet you're tired after saying all that.
South at Highway 1 and 6, Albert Street. RMPChevrolet.com.
2S Auctioneers Fall Equipment Auction is now open and closes Tuesday, October 7th at 6 p.m. Trucking Company Dispersal, Peterbilt 379, Peterbilt Vac Truck, Ford 9000 water truck, unused sea containers, collector tractors, compact tractors and lawnmowers, farm equipment, pickup trucks, plus a large selection of shop and hand tools. Register and bid at 2sauctioneers.highbid.com. That's the fall equipment sale at 2S Auctioneers in Indian Head, closing Tuesday.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
Time now for Friday Night Lights, your weekly look at the exciting high school football scene in Saskatchewan. Brought to you by Warren Steinley, Member of Parliament at Regina Louvain, and always on Saskatchewan's side.
All right, here we go. 6 aside, 1A Lemberg, 4-0 in the 4 games. They've allowed just 20 points. They've scored 277. Friday, Lemberg traveling to the Carrot River to take on the other undefeated team in the pool. Carrot River's allowed 92 points. They've scored 205. Should be a nice battle in the Carrot Friday. Other Conference 3, Hanley's undefeated, 3-0. They're in Outlook Friday to take on the 1-1 LCBI team. 2A 6 aside, Wynyard leads their pool with an undefeated 3-0 mark. Traveling to Lanigan tomorrow. On Friday, Ituna will host Priestville, looking for their first win of the year. Watrous leads the other pool 3-0. They're home to Davidson on Friday. Davidson is sitting with a 1-2 record. Now Clavette is 2-1, needing a win as they load up the Truckster and head into Assiniboia tomorrow. 9 aside, undefeated Melville has Yorkton Sacred Heart tomorrow. Sacred Heart sitting with 2 wins, 2 losses. Foam Lake, here we go, Colson, sitting with a 3-1 record, traveling into Esterhazy on Friday to take on the 1-2 Esterhazy squad. Bill Ritz joining us from the Foam Lake Panthers. Okay, Bill, how is the season so far? How are you assessing the season for your Panthers?
Well, we were a young team, so starting out 3-1, we're pretty happy with that. We didn't really have our best game and lost that one game to Sacred Heart, but turned things around here last week and got a win. So overall, we're building and getting better every week. So good season so far.
All right, who are we watching for this year? Who are the studs on the Panthers?
Well, our best player is probably Grayson McCulchuk. He's our linebacker and a running back receiver type, and he's doing lots for us and playing really well right now. And our quarterback, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, who else?
Well, our quarterback, number 7, Rhett Rogers, has had a good year. He's a first-year quarterback, and he's doing really well. And then also our linebacker that we lost here last week on our broken collarbone, Caden Baczynski, was one of our better players for us, too.
How many towns are you guys drawing for? How far are people driving to come play football in Foam Lake?
We got kids coming from Kelvington, Invermay, and Wadena. Some of our kids from Invermay, they'll travel up to 70K just to get here for practice every day. So they are highly dedicated, and without them, we wouldn't be able to play 9-man.
All right, and then what's the goal this year? Is it to maybe play a provincial game?
Yeah, our goal at the beginning of the year was to get to a provincial playoff game. We haven't had one in quite a few years here. We've kind of had been in a drought. So we're looking to get back there, and with the win this Friday, we should be able to get there and then get our goal and then see what we can do from there.
Because you got the big rivalry game against Melville coming up, right?
Big rivals down the road in Melville, yeah, for many, many years. We always get up for those games. They always get up to play us. Good friends, coaches off the field, but love to beat them and play them on the field. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that one. That one's been circled for a while.
That's awesome. All right, Bill. Continued success. Thanks so much for doing this. I appreciate you, what you do out there, giving back and coaching.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks to you guys, too, for showcasing us. We appreciate it.
All right, other conference. Conference 2, Lumsden leads away 3-0. Going to travel to the Fort on Friday. And then also Indian Head, who's winless, will take on 1-1 Moose Jaw Vanier. 12 aside south quickly. Moose Jaw Central, only undefeated team at 4-0, allowing 25 points against. It's a battle of Moose Jaw Saturday as Central takes on Peacock. Tomorrow, Balgonie looking to go 3-1 when they travel in to take on the winless Estevans squad. Also Friday, a big 2 points on the line when Swift Current hosts Yorkton Regional. Mavs, what's going on in Regina?
Schwann Conference, Campbell leading the way, undefeated 4-0. Miller and Riffle 3-1. WKC 2-3. O'Neill 1-3. The boldest. Come on, Golden Suns 0-4. They're close. I got to feel they're close. They're close.
Ready.
Stewart Conference, FWJ 3-2. Tom 3-1. SWC 2-2. Balfour 1-2. And Martin Luther is 0-3. Busy weekend here. Let's see. Tomorrow, you've got SWC taking on Balfour at Mosaic, and WKC taking on Miller at Mosaic. And Friday, games at Libel and Mosaic, including those Leboldas Golden Suns, taking on Weyburn, actually, at Mosaic Stadium. Kickoff there will be 5:15.
Friday Night Lights, our weekly look at high school football, brought to you by Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Louvain, always on Saskatchewan's side. We'll keep you up to date on the high school thing as we go along here as well. It's a Sportscage. We're streaming at sportscage.com. We're on the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
Rider Nation lives on 620 CKRM. I'm Dave Thomas, voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Friday is game day as the Riders take on the Ottawa Redblacks. Countdown to kickoff with Justin Dunk and Tegan Whitkos at 2:30. The pregame show's at 4:30. And kickoff with Luke Mullender and I is at 5:30. Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network is brought to you by your Saskatchewan Ag Code dealers, Quality Tire, and SaskTel. Stream every moment of Rider football at sportscage.com.
The Ritchie Brothers Fall Farm season is here, featuring a huge selection of agricultural equipment coming up for auction across Canada. With 28 separate equipment auctions scheduled between October 2nd and November 6th, we're confident you'll find the equipment you need to get up and running or expand operations. And the best part is you can view detailed listings and quickly assess their assets entirely online. Head on over to rbauction.com to learn more about this great opportunity. Once again, that's rbauction.com.
SEIU West members are
Medical Equipment Coordinator,
Combined Laboratory and X-ray Technologist,
Orderly, Biomedical Engineering Technologist,
File Clerk,
MRI Technologist,
Carpenter,
Pharmacy Technician, Cardiology Technologist,
Staff Scheduler,
Information Technology Analyst.
the backbone of your public health care system. Learn more at seius.ca.
For sale, 2 quarters of farmland southwest of Bethune in the RM of Dufferin. Bids must be delivered to the Curran and Fielding Law Firm in Moose Jaw on or before 1 p.m. October 6. The seller is not obliged to accept the highest or any bid and may reject all bids. That's 2 quarters of farmland for sale in the RM of Dufferin. For information, call the Curran and Fielding Law Firm in Moose Jaw, 306-693-7181. That's 306-693-7181.
Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
So, since that little ding on my car last week, I don't know where to take it. I don't even know.
That's easy. Take it to Regina Motor Products.
Who said that?
I did. Down here. I'm Terry the Tire. Regina Motor Products Chevrolet Collision Center and SGI accredited auto body repair is a full-service collision and body shop that works on all makes and models. Just submit your claim to SGI and set an appointment to get your appraisal done. Easy.
I bet you're tired after saying all that.
South at Highway 1 and 6, Albert Street. RMPChevrolet.com.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 5050 is presented by ISC.
Hey, you down there. Yeah, it's me, the sun. Been up here doing my thing for, 4.6 billion years or so, and you're still paying full price for power? Come on. Get a Kelm Solar residential system. Use me to power your AC, your fridge, your whatever that thing is in your garage. Help me help you. What movie's that from? Anyway, when you've got extra power, Sask Power gives you credits. Jerry Maguire, that's what that line's from.
Get a quote at kelmsolar.com.
Country Corner, brought to you by Municipal Hail Insurance. Proudly serving farmers. MunicipalHail.ca.
Check out the Cream of the Crop Trade and Craft Show, October 10th and 11th at the Connexus Arts Center. Over 60 local vendors ranging from artwork and handcrafted jewelry to culinary delights and home decor. More details at connexusartcenter.ca. Get ready to party with the James Barker Band in Moose Jaw. It's the Bud Light Buckle Up Tour coming to the Temple Garden Center on November 20th. Grab your tickets at templegardencenter.ca. And Saskatchewan's own Hunter Brothers bring their Homegrown Nights Tour to Regina November 27th. Special guest Shantea. Grab your tickets at connexusartcenter.ca or stop by the box office.
For more information, visit 620ckrm.com. It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sports, Regina's locally owned one-stop hockey shop. Now with a price match guarantee. 1425 McIntyre Street.
Big news out of the Rider camp today. Brett Lawther will not kick Friday in Ottawa. Campbell Fair is going to get to start. Also, Tommy Stevens will not be playing on Friday. WHL tonight in Regina. Oil Kings in town to take on the Pats. Pats looking for win number 1 on the season. Maddox Schultz will be in the lineup. Some AAA in Notre Dame. Estevan's in town to take on the Hounds. AAA female at the Sixer. The Regina Rebels hosting Prince Albert. 7:30 puck drop here. And Major League Baseball, Cleveland over Detroit, 6-1. That's tied 1-1. San Diego 3-rip over the Cubs. They're tied 1-1 right now in the 4th inning. Boston and the Yankees are tied 2-2. Sports Ticker in Hour 2 for the home of the price match guarantee. Extreme Hockey and Sport. They're local. They support local. Anything you need at Extreme Hockey and Sport. Coming back, Hour 5, Maz and I, we got winning to do. Start dialing now, 936-6262. PumpJacks Cathedral Trivia. Who wants to win some PumpJacks cash? It's a Sportscage. We're streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
Proudly broadcasting from Treaty 4 territory, the homeland of the Dakota, Nakota, Lakota, Saulteaux, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. We are 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Corey Atkinson from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM News for Echo Sound and Fort Qu'Appelle. Stay connected with a new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711. Regina police arrested 3 males early Tuesday morning after a weapons incident and an assault. Officers were called to a business on 9th Avenue North after reports that 2 males were seen carrying a shotgun. A sawed-off shotgun and a sawed-off rifle were recovered. One suspect was also linked to an earlier assault on a rideshare driver involving a machete. All 3 suspects were taken into custody without further incident, and charges include possession of prohibited firearms, carrying a concealed weapon, and assault. Court appearances were scheduled for Tuesday and Wednesday. Regina residents are weighing in on a city survey reviewing the animal bylaw, including whether some dog breeds should be banned. Opinions vary. Dog owners like Vic Cahoot oppose breed bans but stress responsible ownership, while others say restrictions may prevent aggressive dogs. The survey also asks about limiting the number of pets per household. Mayor Chad Baczynski says the city wants feedback to update a bylaw that has not changed for many years and to improve safety for both pets and residents in the city. An advocacy group representing First Nations in Saskatchewan is firing back after a forensic audit found more than $34 million in questionable, unsupported, or ineligible spending. The Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations says it has a robust system of financial management, accountability, and transparency. It says it hasn't received the full audit report, despite sending multiple requests to Indigenous Services Canada, and isn't able to provide a rationale for each finding. The independent audit, conducted on behalf of the federal government, examined funds provided by Indigenous Services Canada to the group representing 74 First Nations in Saskatchewan. Quebec's public securities minister says authorities believe organized crime was behind a shooting at a Montreal area Starbucks. Here's Canadian Press reporter Lisa Laporte.
Ian Lafreniere says 3 people were shot at around 10:30 this morning at the Starbucks location in Laval. He says all indications point to the shooting being tied to organized crime. Provincial police have taken over the investigation into the shooting, which they say could be tied to organized crime, but wouldn't confirm when speaking during a news conference.
A security perimeter was set up in the area of the shooting. And Jane Goodall, the most prolific primatologist of a generation, has died. She was 91 years old. In a 2019 interview for the Disney nature documentary Penguins, Goodall told ABC what she's most proud of in her career.
Well, I think thanks to the chimps being so like us biologically as well as behaviorally, it was a big push towards getting science to accept that we humans are actually part of the animal kingdom and not separate from it. And then the other thing is starting Roots and Shoots, because that's, it's given hope to hundreds of thousands of young people around the world.
In her later years, she devoted decades to education and advocacy on humanitarian causes and protecting the natural world. That was your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
This back-to-school season, don't be prehistoric.
Mom, my phone is basically a fossil.
Sweetie, your phone's older than a T-Rex.
Time to evolve at Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
They have new phones, back-to-school deals, internet and Max TV stream, and no extinct data plans.
In 2025, there's no excuse to roam with a Jurassic phone. Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Capel, echosound.ca.
Watch for this Mac Auction Company's upcoming land auction for Grant and Chris Alexander of the historic Horseshoe Creek Shorthorn Farm near Goodwater, Saskatchewan. Over 3/4 sections of land, including the beautiful home and home quarter, have been owned by the Alexander family for over 122 years. To view this auction and register to bid, go to macauctioncompany.com. Also included with the land is over $71,000 of oil service revenue yearly. Bidding begins this Friday, October 3rd.
Weather brought to you by Line X Regina, serious protection, killer looks. 1865 McCara Street. And Croft Electric, 27 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all your electrical needs. CroftElectric.com, and you can find them on all socials.
Relatively quiet weather lining up here as we head into the end of the week with just an outside chance of a shower by Friday ahead of another frontal boundary. Weak low pressure will be gathering a bit of steam Saturday while it tracks to our south. There's a better chance of more widespread organized shower activity Saturday afternoon and evening. And then we get into some cooler weather. It'll start to feel like October by Sunday. Clear tonight, lows near 9 degrees. West to southwest winds at 15 to 25 diminish. Mostly sunny, bright and dry. 23 degrees tomorrow. West to northwest winds at 10 to 20. Partly cloudy, 8 degrees tomorrow night. Light southeast winds, chance of rainfall 10%. Mostly cloudy with isolated late day showers on Friday and a high of 21. Chance of rain 20%. East to southeast winds at 15 to 30. Cloudy with spotty showers Saturday and a high of 17. Chance of rain will increase to 40%. Maybe a better chance of showers Saturday night. Partly sunny, breezy and cooler. 11 on Sunday. With your 620 CKRM precision weather forecast, I'm meteorologist Russ Murray. Charlie.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line-X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line-X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line-X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line-X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line-X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
Croft Electric. You've probably heard of us because we've been around for over 27 years. We do commercial and residential work? Yes. We do permanent holiday lighting? Yes. We do cabins? Yes. And farms? Yes and yes. We're an authorized Generac generator dealer. We are a full-service electrical company with the experience and the people to service all of your electrical needs. We are Croft Electric. We will be here when you need us. Do it right, do it once. Follow us on all social and call 306-586-1333 to book.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Regina Motor Products early tire swap offer on now. Book before October 31st to save $10 on an on-rim and $20 on an off-rim tire changeover. Visit Regina Motor Products today. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Here we go. Hour three of winning on the Sports Cage today. Maz is with me. Colson's our controller, making sure everything runs smoothly. Thanks for making time. If you missed any of it, go back and listen to it in a podcast form. You can watch it on YouTube. Farhan Lalji was in hour one. We're going to play that again here coming up the back half of this hour. We heard from Dante DeCaria as the Pats are in action tonight at 7 o'clock. High school football report, Arash Madani. And we're going to keep it going. Right now, 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. If you want to win PumpJacks Cathedral Trivia is coming up. Maz has the question. I don't know, but we need someone to step up. Who wants to play? You're going to have 10 seconds to answer the question, and you could be off to PumpJacks Cathedral, Albert and 13th. Weekends, they got live music. There's soup. They're dry ribs. Oh, let's go.
And it's a very, very gettable question. The answer has been talked about many times on the show with Darian Durant. It's not that hard. I'm not saying you Google. Give yourself a little advantage. But this one's an easy. This one's in the bag. Like you book an Uber, just have them waiting outside the house, and then stop by here, grab the gift card, and then just go.
936
Watch baseball tonight. Watch the Dodgers decimate the Reds again.
936-6262. Who wants to play? Call right now. The other news today, out of Rider Camp, Campbell Fair will be kicking for the Riders coming up this weekend in Ottawa. Dave Thomas broke that. We heard from Campbell Fair in hour one as well. Maz, I think you and I know they're saying it's a back issue with Lawther, but I think it's just, this was the play.
Arash made a good point. If you're ever going to give this kid a shot, do it in Ottawa. There's no gimmies. We need to win this football game because if we lose 3 in a row, and especially to Ottawa, that's not good. But if you're ever going to do it, it's on the road. There's no pressure. It's not in front of Mosaic. It's not because Rider Nation, and I'm not proud of this at times. We're ruthless. We are. We're not. It's never enough. The sky's always falling, and for him, if he's going to get a shot. Being in Ottawa, not a lot of pressure there because Lawther didn't practice yesterday because of back, didn't practice today, and it's a short week because they're leaving tomorrow. So they got to go. So it's going to be Campbell Fair, and then the new punter is the holder.
I wonder if he really does have a lumbar issue, if there's something going on in the back, or if this just is the time. I would have thought they would have done it in August. I thought that was the window. But here we go. We're going to see it. Okay.
One of the bigger questions
Go.
Do we get pump jacks? We ready to go?
Yeah, but go ahead. Finish your thought.
The other question on a lot of people's minds, Godfrey Onyeka was released. Or, pardon me, Cozy Onyeka.
Cozy.
It was Cozy, right?
Cozy.
Was released for doing something that goes against team conduct.
Mm-hmm.
That was news out of Ryder Camp yesterday, which has a lot of people wondering. It'd be like he started, he played, and then I was watching the game. The game was on again on TSN, so I'm trying to watch. I'm like, did something happen in the game? Like there was no, I don't think he got flagged. There was nothing egregious there, so there's a lot of questions. And then Kean Schaefer-Baker apparently is going to be back in the starting lineup because he's looked good in practice. So that receiving core is going to get a little bit. Will this help Trevor Harris kind of break out of his mini slump? But as Mark Boy McDaniel said the other day, it takes you 2 to 3 games to get back into game speed and shape. Practicing all you want doesn't make up for what happens in the games.
No, for sure it doesn't. Okay, let's get going here. PumpJacks Cathedral Trivia. Maz, you got your question ready? Colson, fire it.
Ready.
It's time for Sportscage Trivia for PumpJacks. Great food, cold local draft, and a place that feels like home.
All right, Glenn is playing. Glenn, can you hear us? Are we coming through clear?
Yep.
All right, Maz. I'm gonna hand it off to you because I don't even know the question yet. I'm gonna play along as well. Maz, go.
Okay. Saskatchewan Roughrider quarterback, Grey Cup champion, Plaza of Honor inductee, Darian Durant tried out for which National Football League team?
Oh, man.
He broke his finger in camp, catching punts.
Oh, man. I'm going to say Cleveland.
Oh, close. It was the Baltimore Ravens.
Thanks for playing, Glenn. You won a free lunch at PumpJacks Cathedral. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for playing along. You know what? Here, to Glenn's defense, Maz, I was second guessing myself. And I remember
when he told the story.
Yeah.
As he was like an 8th string quarterback coming in, he said Ray Lewis was incredibly nice to him. But he was so far down on the depth chart, he was fielding punts, and he broke his finger because he misplayed a ball at one of the jugs machine, and it snapped his finger for the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, so next week for PumpJacks Cathedral, we're going to go for $100. It'll be back on Tuesday. PumpJacks Cathedral. Live music every weekend. Kids allowed until 8. Try the dry ribs and the soup. I'll tell you that much right now. PumpJacks Cathedral Trivia back next Thursday. Now, here, while we're floating through the internet here, I'm on sportsselect.com. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm getting off, get off about 6 o'clock. Get to the co-op, to the lotto stop. I could do my picks right now. That is the beauty. On my phone and online. You do it, Maz, as well. You're more Sunday, okay? But I'm just looking at right now. Dodgers on the pro line, 158, but Cincinnati, 395. Again, I'm not baseball savant. I'm far from that. I'm box scorer. Is Cincinnati that outmatched tonight against Los Angeles?
Watching them... I turned off the game when it was 5-0 for the Dodgers because I'm like, there's no way that Cincinnati, even with a miracle, comes back because the Dodgers just have so much firepower. And Cincinnati is okay, but they don't have a stack. Like they don't have an Otani. They don't have Teoscar Hernandez just knocking a couple around. Former Blue Jay.
Yeah.
Oof. Could you imagine if he comes back, if they end up in the World Series and Teoscar Hernandez is the one that crushes Jay's dreams?
Why don't I go maybe a little over under then for tonight's game on Sports Select 7.5. Take the under. Chavez.
No, it was 10-5 last night. Take the over.
Yeah,
the Dodgers can hit, especially at home.
But Cincinnati, are they going to score anything?
The Reds' pitching isn't that great. Keep in mind that Teoscar Hernandez, he was just taking balls on the outside of the plate. It was a full swing, but just boom. And I'm like,
Okay,
man, the talent to do that.
So we're going our sprinkle of the day for sportselect.com. We're going the over in the Cincinnati Los Angeles. Here, people out there, you have never had two bigger rubes when it comes to baseball making a pick. So this is for entertainment purposes only. 7.5. We're taking the over. Sportselect.com, legal, and you know the drill, the history around it. And you can do it all online now, and it spits out a QR code, and all you have to do is go to the Lotto Spot retailer. They scan your phone, or if you print it off, and then your ticket comes right there. On Sunday, when I was getting my NFL tickets, I counted 3 people came in. Beep, scan, beep, scan, beep, scan. I still like to fill it out with my half cinnamon mocha, half coffee at the co-op. I always make small talk with people too. You know, I like it. But if you're in a time crunch, Sports Select's never been easier. There's also some preseason hockey tonight if you want to get really kinky.
Oh, the Oilers and the Kraken tonight.
Colorado, Vegas, Vancouver, Calgary. You know, parlay action if you want. Sportselect.com. You can find out everything there. Do you want to hear from Coach Mace? So he didn't comment because Dave got the scoop on it. He didn't comment on Campbell Fair, but he does comment on new punter Jesse Mirko's performance in Edmonton last week.
I mean, we picked him in the draft, and he had an incredible college career. And he kind of got acclimated a little bit here, and we wanted to see what that looked like, and certainly he's as advertised. So, man, we'll keep rolling with that, and he's got experience holding throughout his whole career as well. So it's just about finding that balance. Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought he punted well in Edmonton. And I think for a lot of people that were calling what was going on hypocrisy, you'll switch out the punter. Some people think the coach hasn't punted that bad. But I'm not PFF football stat guy. Like, I'm not in there breaking it down. Okay, so the coach gets benched. Bring in Mirko, does okay. This week, because of injury, Brett Lothar is out. Campbell Fair is going to get a shot. Okay, now they're rolling through, and they're going to see. So it sounds like, were the Riders always waiting for Mirko? Was he their number one guy because he was trying to explore NFL options, and then he finally showed up, be like, okay, all right, you are as advertised, here we go. And
yeah. That's an interesting take for sure. The one thing that I saw it last week when it came out early on the depth chart or the practice report, I was like, Philippe Gagnon's back? He's back running around. Coach Mace talked about having 10-year pro Gagnon back in the lineup with some fresh legs.
Yeah, 10 years and coming in fresh legs, like what a bonus, right? You don't really see that often. But you know, his versatility, man, he can do it all, you know, for us. And it was just so unfortunate to see what happened to him in training camp because he was playing pretty good to that point. And then, you know, he told me he was going to stay and work his tail off to get here, and you know, now to, you know, have him get out there last week and you know, go out there again this week, man, you're happy for him. And then for us, obviously, just having that veteran presence and you know, certainly I'm sure the amount of snaps he's taken versus this team that we're facing this week won't hurt. So man, love Philippe and what he's brought to this team and his leadership.
I think that's huge.
I think that's going to be a shot in the arm to the O-line. And also, I'm excited. Revis is playing safety. Antoine Brooks Jr. is going to be playing linebacker. It's a completely different look. Normally, that safety spot's been Canadian. They're moving things around, shaking things up a little. And I'm excited because I want to see how the Riders are going to come out and respond against Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people could take them lightly. They've only won 4 times. But if Drew Brown's going to be their starting quarterback, and looks like he will be, I mean, he's not afraid to sling it. And they have Geno Lewis. They have some guys that can actually, Justin Hardy, they got some guys that can actually do a little damage on offense.
0 to hold back for now. Just let it fly like you're playing with your buddies in the park at this point, Ottawa. Okay, we got 30 minutes. No, we got 39 minutes left in the program. Right now, we're playing SaskTel Pick the Score. 936-6262. What is the score? Riders and Red Blacks, Friday, 5:30 kickoff in Ottawa. You got a chance to win 2 tickets to the home game October 10th against Toronto. Also a chance to win a $200 SaskTel gift card. It's all brought to you by SaskTel. SaskTel Pick the Score right now on the Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. Quick break. We are on the home of the Riders. 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
Sask Power is working to improve the power system in your area. In order to do their work safely, they need to shut the power off for customers in Abernethy rural, and surrounding communities from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Thursday, October 2nd, weather permitting. Again, the power will be out for 3 hours on Thursday, October 2nd, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. for customers in Abernethy. For updates on this outage, visit saskpower.com/outages.
The Ritchie Brothers Fall Farm season is here, featuring a huge selection of agricultural equipment coming up for auction across Canada. With 28 separate equipment auctions scheduled between October 2nd and November 6th, we're confident you'll find the equipment you need to get up and running or expand operations. And the best part is you can view detailed listings and quickly assess their assets entirely online. Head on over to rbauction.com to learn more about this great opportunity. Once again, that's rbauction.com. The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
Howdy, Wood Country Woody here again. And let me tell you something, my yard was so ugly, I had to throw pork chops on the lawn just to get the dog out there. Kind of ironic that it was Barkman Concrete Landscaping Products that fixed my problem. I got mine at Wood Country, natural. Paving stones, retaining wall blocks, patio blocks, pretty up your yard. Come take a gander at Barkman Concrete Products from Wood Country.
Your home is your castle.
In McLean, Estevan, and Tisdale, wood-country.com.
Whoa, what's that?
Oh, that's just my telephone.
Are you maybe not as up to date as you could be?
Hello? Oh, hello, Elsie.
Head to Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer, and check out their selection of top-of-the-line smartphones. Here you go, Grandma.
Oh, isn't this lovely? Whoa.
Visit Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Moosomin today. Check out their new renovations and say hi to the gang.
Hello?
The care your family receives in hospitals, schools, and community programs comes from SEIU West members who live in your community. We're united around something simple. When working people have what they need to do their jobs well, everyone benefits. Our conditions of work are your conditions of care. For more information, visit seiuwest.ca.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Campbell Fair will be the kicker for the Riders Friday in Ottawa. That was made official to Dave Thomas earlier this afternoon. Brett Lauder is getting the game off. Also, Tommy Stevens will not be playing for the Riders. WHL tonight in town. The Oil Kings are here to take on the Pats. Maddox Schultz should be in the lineup for the Regina Pats as they look for their first victory of the year. AAA female at the Sixers, 7:30 puck drop. Rebels taking on Prince Albert, making the nice drive down for a Wednesday affair. AAA in Notre Dame. Estevan's in town to take on the Men Hounds. Major League Baseball, it was Cleveland over Detroit 6-1, tied 1-1. San Diego 3-0 on the Cubs. That's tied 1-1. Right now in the bottom of the fifth, the Yankees and Sox are tied 2-2. Reds and Dodgers go tonight. Sportscage.com poll. What's the most significant headline from Riders practice yesterday? You can vote at sportscage.com. Sports ticker is 4. Steelcraft door in Regina. Made in Western Canada, for Western Canada. If you need a garage door, they have it at their 40,000 square foot facility, Steelcraft Doors, Regina. Maz, minimum wage. People have been messaging in, letting us know how much they made back in the day. Kelly from Calgary says, in 1966, groceries for the month, $50 for 2 people. Like, I get it. And we're playing old guy stuff here, and it's like, hey, back in our day, a CD. But imagine feeding 2 people for $50. Even if you were making, in 1966, what are you making? $2 an hour? Less than that? 8 hours a day. You're making not, but you're $50 to feed. You got 3 days of work. The rest of it, you got utilities.
Yeah. Choices have consequences. And those consequences that play out these days is a head of lettuce is $6 at times. And I don't think anybody likes that. I don't care what party you vote for. I don't think anybody likes paying $6 for lettuce.
Trickle-down effect. Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. We're going to have the junior football report coming up in a bit here. All of our guests have joined us on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Western Pizza, the pickup special, still a nice deal. Pick up a pie tonight, watch some baseball or any of the Greek favorites you love, like souvlaki, ribs, salad. You just can't make that goodness at home. Western Pizza near you.
With the Farhan Lalji interview, we're going to rerun this. He throws out a very interesting take about the Riders' slow starts, one I never even thought of. Everybody's blaming the offense. Farhan Lalji comes in from 10,000 feet, says, no.
Chakai.
Here's what's really going on.
Yeah.
So if you miss that, have a listen.
Nice.
Because I've already, it's been 90 minutes and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think he's right.
Nice tease. Right. It is good. And you got 20 minutes left for SaskTel Pick the Score. What's the score Friday in Ottawa? I know where it is. You win tickets to October 10th game against Toronto. 936-6262. Also chance to win a $200 SaskTel gift card. Ken in Regina says, boys, nobody likes lettuce, period. Ken in Regina. I love lettuce, Ken. Love. More of a shredded lettuce. Romaine I can take. Anyway, junior football reports coming up, then more Farhan Lalji. It's the Sports Cage, your home of lettuce talk on 620 CKRM.
This is the Sportscage Junior Football Report with Dave Thomas.
After Week 8 of action in the Prairie Football Conference, the Regina Thunder took sole possession of the top spot in the league. The Thunder rallied in Saskatoon for a 24-21 win over the Hilltops last Saturday night. In other action, the Winnipeg Rifles trimmed the Edmonton Wildcats 28-26, and the Edmonton Huskies scored a 25-14 win over the Calgary Colts. The league is on a bye this week before the regular season will wrap up over the Thanksgiving weekend. But let's go back to last week. Regina running back Jackson Harnett paced the Thunder with 81 yards rushing and 5 punt returns in their win in Saskatoon. And he says it was a great night all around.
Oh, I mean, anytime you get to play under the lights is a special moment, and especially when you're out there in Saskatoon with their whole alumni and the crowd packed, fireworks going off, their whole cheerleading squad on the sideline. Like, it's a big game, especially being in Regina for it. And I mean, we love to go out there and we love to compete, and we're never scared of infiltrating an away game. The boys knew their assignments, and we executed to perfection, and we walked out of there with a big win.
A lot of coaches will say we got to start fast, and you provided that fast start. Part of your 3-carry, 81-yard performance was a 72-yard touchdown. Take me through the play.
I mean, the play's pretty much a blur, I can't lie to you. Taking it up that sideline and hitting that gap, I wasn't quite sure the outcome. I just knew it was second down and needed a first down. And by the time I had passed that first down, my legs were just moving and my brain was kind of frozen. But, you know, I looked back and saw a wave of blue jerseys and knew I just had to keep pushing. And by the time I knew it, I was in that end zone with the boys celebrating.
72 yards is quite a scamper. Were the legs a little tired at the end of it? Or are you thinking while you're pumping going down that sideline?
Not much thoughts going through the head, but the field definitely kept getting longer and longer, that's for sure.
So when you look at this schedule now, you're on a bye week. Is this a good time or a bad time for the bye week, knowing that there's only one regular season game left?
I mean, it's definitely an interesting time to throw a bye week at a football team. But when you have boys that are so close together, like the Regina Thunder, it doesn't really matter in our minds. I mean, we're still going to get our reps in. We're still going to get our mental reps in. And it's just another day to perfect our crafts for us.
So that last regular season game against the Edmonton Wildcats, what does that mean to make sure that you get yourself into a good spot heading into the postseason?
It's definitely a must secure. I mean, we've now stolen first place, and we're happy with where we are, but we need to continue to stay happy. I mean, we can't get comfortable, because as soon as we get comfortable, we get lazy, and that's just not our squad.
So tell me about an Edmonton team, because you're an Edmonton guy. How does your journey in football go from the Alberta capital to here with the Regina Thunder?
I mean, it was a big mix-up, and it was definitely an interesting year. But at the end of the day, I'm a fifth year, and so it's my final year in the CJFL, and I just want to play football. And Scott McCulley is able to give me that best opportunity, and I'm proud to say that I found a home here in Regina with the boys, and they've accepted me all extremely well, and I can't thank them enough for it. And I just can't wait to win with this squad.
So having seen this franchise or this program from the outside looking in, is it what you expected it would be when you came to the inside of it?
I mean, these boys have always known how to win. Regina Thunder has always been one of the top performers in our league, and it definitely shows just not on the field, but outside the field too. When it comes from staff working their butts off to help us out, or coaches there round clock 24/8. We got Scott McCulley, such a great mind leading our squad, knowing how everyone needs to be acting and performing throughout the week to make sure that we are executing to the best of our abilities. And they really just know how to do it all when it comes from recovering to bonding with the team to practicing every night to getting our film hours in. We execute to the highest abilities that we're put to standards.
So what would getting a ring on your finger at the end of this season mean to you?
It mean the world to me. I mean, I came from Harry Inley High School, which is a very competitive and great high school. Shout out to those boys out there at Edmonton. Those boys really know how to play football, and we ended up getting a provincial championship ring in my 11th year, or grade 11 year, with the squad. And that moment was everything to me. I still remember it like it was yesterday, and I'd love to reenact that just with these boys here in Regina.
Jackson, I appreciate your time. Thanks for doing this, and all the best of luck this season.
Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate you having me.
As mentioned, the league is on a bye week this week before the regular season wraps up, with Regina home to the Edmonton Wildcats, Calgary at Saskatoon, and the Winnipeg Rifles traveling to Edmonton to take on the Huskies. And that's the Junior Football Report. I'm Dave Thomas.
Freeze Tallman wants you to get her done before the winter. They can save you time and hassle by delivering your building materials directly to your home or cottage. They have siding, roofing, brown-treated lumber, composite decking, aluminum railing, fencing, everything you need to finish your outdoor building projects before snow falls. Visit freezetallman.com or see them in Regina or Fort Capel. Freeze Tallman. Let's get you building.
Sask Power is working to improve the power system in your area. In order to do their work safely, they need to shut the power off for customers in Lang from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on Thursday, October 2nd, weather permitting. Again, the power will be out for 4 hours on Thursday, October 2nd, from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. for customers in Lang. For updates on this outage, visit Sask Power.